No, it's just the two of us. Hello? All right, I'll wait. Is to be happy.
Hello.
So I wanted to tell you something before I tell everyone else. So you do
Okay.
neurodivergence, right? So my friend just started a music and neurodivergence network that's going to have its own conference, its own publication. It's a very big. She's the director of neurodiversity at Berkeley Able.
Fabulous. I'd love to talk to her.
Let me see if I did I. Let me see if I sent you it. I was like very excited to see that. I know I sent the Music Will thing. Let me get that. Yeah, she's super nice. I did her Berkeley Able podcast on the work I was doing, and this is like, yeah, they're starting a research network for neurodivergence work.
Finally, someone's going to do that, man.
I was
When
thinking,
I I get in on the forums and they start talking about autism, and I'm like, that's a made up term.
right,
Corporation corporations made
it's a
that up.
label.
Well,
It's
yeah, and basically the reason that they do that is because our minds are firing on all cylinders,
exactly.
and their method of teaching only works on one lobe of the brain, occipital lobe, what people see. So
Right.
they train people to believe what they see, certain things about what they see. When those of us who are neurodivergent
Meaning,
usually are kinesthetic, meaning that we're firing
yeah, we're
on
moving,
all our
we're trying to,
cylinders.
right, moving in so many directions and needing multiple ways of communication and whatnot.
Well,
So I completely,
absolutely. The most annoying thing I ever had when I was doing my bit in the Presidio to get the Board of Education to put cultural education back on the national curriculum.
sure.
Um, they didn't treat me well, obviously, but no one ever does, right? Um, and what annoyed them the most is we'd have events where it was just the staff who'd be doing work of all kinds.
Hmm.
Someone would say something to someone about, can you watch Lisa? And I'd be like, I heard that.
Oh, like they think that you can't manage yourself. That's ridiculous. And
No,
I'll
that
tell you what,
they would have to manage me because otherwise
exactly.
I'd do too much.
Well, that's the issue I faced every school district I went to. They felt like they had to watch me because
Yeah.
they were worried about either, or they would make stuff up about me thinking like because I'm a little out of, like they say, like you would talk to yourself weirdly, like out loud. I'm like, A, if I did, why is that a big deal? And B, who made these accusations just because of who I am that these are the this is how I would act because I'm neurodivergent, you know? It's like everyone has their own perception, but they just see it as one, like, oh, if he does this, then here's the list of things that he probably does, you know?
Oh, yeah. They make assumptions,
Exactly.
con- constantly assuming I'd be the scapegoat for anything that went wrong, even if I wasn't even anywhere near the situation.
Oh, yeah,
I
when one of the school districts was trying to get me out because I was doing too much in a sense because of the fact that that's how my brain works. I have an emotional and I have a analytical side. So like if I see something that's not right, I'm going to say something. I'm not going to keep my mouth shut.
That's me. Yeah, my first kindergarten through third grade, I got transferred to
Can't
five
hear
different
you.
schools.
Can't hear you.
Hello, Samuel. Uh,
Hello.
we're 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 just having a mutual complaint session about being the type of brains that we are in an American school system,
In a
which
Okay.
is well,
formal,
yeah,
traditional, restrictive school system.
yeah, which has been hacked away at by corporations because all they really want from the schools is good little workers in their factories.
Right, they care about their reputation. They don't care about the kids. I hate to
Yeah,
say that, but like
no, it's true.
I mean, where I am, I'll just say where I am now, though, is a blessing because they're all neurodivergent, so they know what's going on, they know how to handle it, and it's
Well,
just,
that's what's happening with UnityNet. I'm in there with all kinds of people who have brains like mine. And it's like, it's great when I talk to them, they know exactly what I'm saying.
right. And
It,
I don't, and yeah, I'm the same way with my staff, you know. I feel like I could be open of being about that, and I think that really, and they love that because then they think, oh, he actually really connects, and I do. I connect with these kids because that was me. The
yeah,
kids were literally what I went through going through my schooling. I mean, look, I went to Scarsdale, so I had good support. If I didn't have that support, I'd probably be at Greenberg Graham Union for.
oh, well, on my end, if I hadn't had all the cultural education that I wanted, yeah, I would have gone loopy. A lot of things I would have done. I mean, average age of someone with my condition when they die is about 55. I've outlasted that by about 12 years.
See, that's incredible. It's incredible.
Oh, well, I mean, because a lot of us do commit suicide because of the way we get treated all our lives.
I
And
and I
and
went
it's
through
a
several
it's
phases
a
of that, and if I'm
yeah,
gonna be honest, I went through two mental institutions, so I know what it's like.
yeah. Well, I've done about 30 years of therapy. Finally, in the end, I got into a group with other people who were um, different versions like me. People, most of them had ADHD,
Right,
which I'm not there. But it was interesting watching them go off on a rant, and I'd be like, "Hey, you're oversharing,"
right,
and they'd
right.
stop right away because they
Right.
know, they know.
No,
And
it's a great
and with the
community.
scientists I'm working with right now, I go through the same thing because they'll go on a rant when something isn't going according to the plan, and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa! You're oversharing. It's going to happen. We're
Right.
just waiting for that for coin number 3 to drop, and that's kind of what I'm dealing with
No,
right now. But
it actually reminds me of like when I do these, we do like restorative circles kind of thing, kind of like a cipher. Uh, every Monday I go to one of the classrooms where the kids do it, and they sometimes over talk, and I have to be like, all right, guys, I love all that information,
mhm.
and but that it feels good in a sense, you know, that like
Oh,
I'm even like kids that are like 8 or 9 years old, it like feels nice to feel that people like are respectful of that and understand, and even the kids understand. Then they're like, okay, yeah,
that's great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I remember when I came up with the tandem training idea when I was working with a kid who, first time I met him, of course he couldn't look me in the eye. His eyes would roll up into his head. So what I did right away was I went into a room where one wall was nothing but a mirror, and we'd both
mm,
sit on these great big prolotherapy balls, and I'd say, "Okay, watch me in the mirror and copy what you see." And so at first he couldn't look at me at all. And then he'd take the sidelong glances when he thought I wasn't looking back.
right,
And then pretty soon he was able to look me in the face and talk. And what I explained to his mom is like, it's not freezing that causes them to not look at you. It's they go through an emotional shock when they see all the different expressions on your face.
it
They
could be
have to get
it could be a
used to your
lot happening
features.
at once. Yes,
It's too much information,
right.
you know, overload. And that's what causes that. It's nothing what a lot of the mainstream psychology says. You know,
Mm,
oh, well, they don't recognize facial features. Oh, yes, they do. We all do. It's just when we look at a face, we get shocked by all the different things that are going on there. I mean,
the
normal
different
people are
expression,
confusing.
right?
Um,
So, hi.
hey everybody, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been sharing.
Awesome. Question. Thanks for finding this spot, Andrew. I'm curious. Did you get to this room via HHCU, the HHCU post with the link,
Yeah,
or
the
how did you
Instagram post, yeah.
do the Instagram post? Okay.
Yeah.
We need to streamline it from the HHCU thing. I just was looking at it and like
Did you post it
it's making you
there?
buy tickets and
I
it's like
did.
not even.
Making you buy tickets.
I don't think it
Yeah,
was.
it's supposed to
I think
be
it was
a.
like a post from like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I posted it to
But
HACU last week. I didn't post it there this week, but it should be on that calendar recurring. I thought the calendar,
Right, right. What I'm saying is you posted it
because I
there and
put that there.
I put it on the calendar, but when you go to the HHCU page,
oh, it
like
doesn't give you
to
a
like
link.
join it, it like says buy a ticket. And, like makes you,
Oh,
Or
you
it
need to
shouldn't be a
talk to
ticket, it should be an
HACU about that. I have
RSVP.
no idea.
No, I
I
know, no, we are now HHCU. So now I gotta go back. I'm letting you guys know that I'm realizing that whatever the post, however I did it, wasn't how it should look. And so now I gotta go back and figure that out. So that's
is
all
there
I'm saying.
another more? Oh,
Um,
there was one 8 days
mhm.
ago. It's on the forum that I knew worked also.
On the forum, okay. But since you're active on HACU, Andrew, I just wanted to know if how you found it, because we want to make sure that it's easy, whether
Streamlined.
you're going through Instagram or whether you're going through HHCU or whatever. It just needs to work. So
Yep. Good.
real time testing. Um, cool. Anita,
I
did you
went,
want to say anything? Oh, she popped out.
yeah, no, I went through the link that Anita sent me yesterday.
That was sent on which
Yesterday.
on Instagram or on HACU?
I believe it was sent to me through WhatsApp.
Oh, okay. Well, however it gets to you, it's good.
It worked.
Make sure that all the ways are working. So, all right. Let's see if
Only give good stuff to your kids.
can you guys still hear me?
Yeah. Your
Oh,
image is
interesting.
frozen.
Okay,
I can
that's
hear
interesting
you.
because I'm still in the clubhouse and it shows that I'm on another call. But that's okay. That's good to know. That means I can still stay on the clubhouse. Let me see what happens when I unmute on the clubhouse because other people are on here. What's up, DeFranco? Can you guys hear me? I'm trying to. We are on the Zoom as well, so you can. I'm not sure if I can be heard. Can you hear me on Clubhouse now? Anita, you're up on the stage. Okay.
To each their own. Yeah. You could go away for Valentine's, don't put together. I'm feeling like.
All right. Am I still heard on Zoom?
Yeah, you're heard
Yes,
on
I
Zoom.
can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay. Danius, you again named yourself the password on Zoom. So try to name yourself something different. All right. And then okay. So we got some people on Clubhouse that are Zoom, like DeFranco, Marquez, Naeem. Danius, I see you also still on Clubhouse, and Ada, you're still on Clubhouse. Let me see what's happening with Zoom.
We're here.
Okay, DeFranco's here. Danius, can you let's rename you? Maybe Anita will need to. I can't rename you because I'm not Anita. But Danius, you should be able to rename yourself if you if you press on your image, like on your little avatar thing, you just hold it down. It'll something should pop up that says rename, and you should be able to rename yourself.
I'm trying to do that and it's not working. I'm pressing it.
So when you press on your own, like where your face would be on Zoom, doesn't pop up. No, it does it for
No.
me. Oh,
He's got a
now
number
it's-
9.
Please.
I'm trying to click on it and nothing's happening.
Okay. Uh, okay, so we got Marquez still. Marquez is on Clubhouse. Hey, how's it
I'm
going?
so sorry, Ramen, okay?
All good.
Yes.
Um, let's see. Okay, Prism Sphere. There's a big guys for okay, Prism. You're also on Zoom, but you're also on Clubhouse.
No, I was
Got it.
good.
Marquez is trying to move over to Zoom. And then Naeem, we want to move over to Zoom. I'll let them know.
I knew her when she was taking class a long time ago, as a little kid. Yeah, a long time ago. I've been dancing for a long time.
Still getting them together. We got half of us on Clubhouse, half on Zoom.
You know, when you're a lady, we don't talk age or weight ever. Don't ask her about how heavy she is.
Okay, and then Nita is on Clubhouse right now, not on Zoom.
Don't talk about age. Talk about even if they might be a little older, it's okay. Right?
I won't be able to be heard on Clubhouse until I'm off Zoom.
Like they always plan it.
Good job, okay? Sorry. It's a little kid.
Okay, cool, right there.
I was doing nine.
I know.
Okay.
I lived in the- Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So who's doing all the arguing in the background?
We did ballet.
Oh, that's my daughter. She just finished her ballet class.
Stand straight,
Ah.
right?
She's finished her ballet class. No, they heard him? All right. I know something about that, Lisa.
Oh, yeah.
Hanging on the ballet bars.
No, I used to use them to try to walk up the wall.
Peace, 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 everybody.
Bring me some
Thank you for joining the room
Yeah,
today.
okay. I'll take care of you.
Can y'all hear me?
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
I'm
I just want to clarify for those who are in Clubhouse and on Zoom, thank you so much for joining. We are transitioning from Clubhouse to Zoom. Every Saturday that you join, just assume Zoom is already set up. Zoom is set up every Saturday. The link is the same. The passcode will be the same. If that ever changes, you will see that from me. Any of those things transition, you will see that from me 100%. For those of you who are not familiar with the Zoom platform, it does allow for you to change your name. So for those of you that actually are coming in or you don't have a Zoom account, and they do allow you to sign up if you wanted to do that, please make sure you're changing your name to your name, not the random association of numbers that it gives you. So just wanted to put that out there, and I wanted to get us started with the check-ins, and let's get this meeting moving. So Raman, do you want to take it away, or are you still busy? He didn't hear.
Sounds like he's still busy.
He looks like he's still busy. All right. Okay, well, I will go ahead and check in. First, my check-in for the week is South by Southwest is coming. South by Southwest is Music Week, is March 7th through the 13th. That is held here in Austin, Texas. So everybody is gearing up for South by Southwest. With that, there's a whole slew of festivals that are coming up for the first half of this year. That's dance festivals, music festivals. There are women's intuition festivals. There's just all types of festivals that are coming up. So I will keep you abreast of those things. Additionally, we have the opportunity with Wu-Tang Radio to have your music played on Wu-Tang Radio that has a 30K reach. Actually, it's more than that. I think it's like, I've looked at those numbers differently. But on a daily basis, about 30,000 people listen to it worldwide, which is a lot. And so we are Hip Hop Congress, right? So we are hip hop. We are the ones that are not just the innovators, but we are the ones who actually put the music to the community. We are the ones that unify and unite. We educate the community about the artwork that we put into the community. So please keep that in mind when you're doing your work. You're in these classrooms, you're on the corner talking to someone, you're in the library having a conversation. Make sure that you're mentioning that you are a part of Hip Hop Congress and that Hip Hop Congress is a part of you. You don't join us, we join you. So please, please, please make sure you're pushing that, putting that message out there. And let me hear about y'all's organizations, what y'all are doing in your communities. That is my check-in thus far for the week. I'm gonna go ahead and pass the mic to, I think that is Danius who had his hand raised. And Danius, I'm gonna go ahead and change your name for you. And yeah, go ahead, take it away. And to unmute is in the bottom right.
Yeah, so
Bottom left, sorry.
I'm actually really excited because today I'm gonna record another DJ mix in my DJ lesson. It's a Bad Bunny remixes. And that's gonna be really cool. I'm gonna do that in my DJ lesson in Sacramento. And that's exciting. And and I got good news. I'm gonna be Futures Explored in Sacramento, California. They're gonna be calling me to schedule a tour. It's Futures Explored Film and Media. They're gonna be calling me to schedule a tour, and I'm interested in being a director. I think I'd make a good director because I'm very creative. Maybe an actor too, like Ramin Jamal's an actor too. He's a rapper and actor. I could be a DJ and actor. That would be interesting. I could be a DJ, actor, director, digital content creator, and producer. That would be something really cool. So I'm excited for the Futures Explored Film and Media. So that's going to be something really cool. It's in Sacramento, California. Other than that, besides I'm going to record my newest DJ mix and the Bad Bunny remixes. I'm excited about that. I've been practicing that remix all week. By the way, that playlist is from DJ City. Other than that, tomorrow I'm going to be watching The Strangers Chapter 3 in the theaters with my friend Joshua. That looks really interesting. And I got a question for everyone. Is anyone going to watch the new Melania movie? Yes or no? Drop it in the comments. But other than that, I've been doing great. I'm in a really good mood today. I'm feeling happy. I'm in a really good mood. I'm feeling happy. I yeah, I'm closing all my blinds in my music room because I want my privacy a lot of the time. Nobody needs to know what's inside my room. It's nobody needs other than that I've been doing good and I want to let you all know that you're amazing. You guys are really good people. I appreciate the Hip Hop Congress family. You guys are amazing, okay? And I'm happy today. Other than that, and in next week is my belt test, stripe test, and my belt test. For Krav Maga, I'm gonna be testing for purple belt. I'm gonna become level 2 in Krav Maga, and that's exciting. Other than that, I've been doing great. And Lisa, have you gone?
No, not at all.
All right, so I now pass the mic to you, Lisa. And I gotta go also eat lunch right now. So I gotta go right now. Okay, you guys are amazing. Bye.
Oh, thank you, Danius. I appreciate you. All right. So, things are tumbling along, quite literally. It's meetings of different types every day. Um, outside of the regular, everybody on the ground. We're getting a lot more people in. I actually got a notice from Western Union about how much money I actually spent on translators fees last month. It was a huge amount of money. But it's more folks coming in all the time. We're getting requests to get onto panels that are broadcasting out to well, the last one had 40,000 members across India and East Asia. But of course, I can't get into these panels unless we sign an agreement, because that's where we're at right now. Had some really good meetings. Today, I met with a bunch of people in the DR Congo that are coming together to form an agribusiness collective. And they've been going on and on about how they feel like they're being ignored, when in reality, all the extra time that we're putting in is to, well, try to set up transport, getting ships to go overseas and deliver goodies that they're growing to other nations. Apparently, the offer from Venezuela to fund operations wasn't the only one. There are several others. I haven't been told what they all are, because Chairman Daniels is trying to, well, winnow stuff out and find a bank that will actually fund us. I was in a meeting yesterday with a U.S. conglomerate of banks that deal with international trade. And the woman said that the Trump administration had started up a new program, and as a result, they were backed up for the next 9 months. So at least we started with American companies, and their inability to meet needs makes it okay for us to go to other nations to get these things taken care of. And that's good as well. But I would like to be able to, do more than live on food stamps and well, what I'm doing right now. There's a lot more to do. This last week, I found out that the World Artistic Dancers Federation has joined with CID UNESCO, even though their president, Nils, told me they were never going to do that. They've decided to do so. They've realized that those of us who are working on the ground aren't crooked. It's only the ones at the top. I explained to him, they're all political appointees there. Of course they're going to be crooked. The idea is they're supposed to try to bend things in their direction. The power of the veto with those 5 nations is the one thing that really screws up stuff. And I feel badly about the fact that they still have veto power at the UN. But it's not my issue. My issue is what we're doing on the ground. So I've been asked to come up with a budget about what I do, how much it's going to cost to expand and get back into putting dance education onto campuses all across the country. We've got the permissions. I need to get the personnel and get a whole crew together that will assist in motivating other groups. I have been getting tapped by some of the organizations that I've been a member with for a good long time. The last one was AIDA, the American International Dancers Association. And well, they were asking for permission to run a couple images that I had put onto my Facebook, but when it came to signing the release forms, for some reason I wasn't able to get into the system, and they said, that's okay, don't try. We'll set up a meeting time. So getting some attention from the groups that I've been members of for years that wouldn't give me attention before because they thought that what I was proposing was a little crazy, but we've got the permissions. We're gathering the people. And I think we're going to be looking at a number of other dance forms and clubs of many kinds that are going to start wanting to come in. So, but I'm going to be keeping my nose to the grindstone here on what's happening right now. This coming year, the Mega Dance weekend that I went to last year in October, November, they're going to run it again. They've made that decision. So it'll be another 16 days of the whirlwind tour through Northern Europe. And who knows what happens after that. There have been requests from other areas, but they don't have functions going on. They just want me to come and visit. So I think I'm going to try to keep it to when I'm going to be meeting large numbers, so that we can spread the love around, and get more and more involvement. So as far as the rest, there's a lot of stuff going on. A lot I would love to be able to disclose, but that would take up all the time here. So I am going to, oh yeah, another thing I wanted to say. They came in and they fixed all the doors in my unit, including the two French doors that had been smashed up by the caregiver I had when I was really ill and couldn't move around. So I feel like I might actually reclaim this as a home rather than a place where I'm hanging out. Because we're starting to get stuff a little neater looking and getting sorted out the things that are going to have to go. So I know, leave me to my own devices. I get a room that's just stacked to the rafters. The rest will look great, but I'll be like, don't open that door. I think I'll be able to get to where everything is. Go ahead, take a look. And that I
Sorry,
haven't
madam.
had that in a good long time. So I'm going to move this forward. And Artemis,
Yes,
are
madam.
you here? I'd love to pass this to
Ye-
you.
Yes, I am. Sorry for being late. Sorry, guys. I am here. Sorry I was late. I was actually talking to a friend of mine in Cali, and I was actually dog sitting for a friend of mine, one of my bandmates. So I was on here late. Apologies. Um, let's see. What else has been going on? It's been kind of a long week because I had a lot of work to do. Um, as y'all know, I edited like magazines for the NLS and the LC. Some of y'all probably knew that. And we just basically do a lot of stuff that for people that need reading materials usually, like they can't like usually get access to them. We put them in audio format. And yeah, that was like it's always like a lot of work, but I enjoy the work. So I was like bogged down doing that and then getting ready to record with my band next week at American University. They have this particular kind of studio that was built by the same people that built Electric Ladyland in New York. If y'all know about that studio, they recorded like some very classic rock bands from the past. So that studio, I've been recording there for years now. A friend of mine that used to work with me teaches there, so he teaches a lot of students about like basic recording with like Pro Tools. So it's like top of the line studio. Is dope. So I'm going in there by myself first to work with my songs. Then the band, I gotta bring them back later on this month. So that's gonna be something like we're working on it this week. Um, let's see. Got my plane ticket for Austin. So I will be there on the 10th. Um, So Anita, I'll definitely holler at you. D Nick, we're gonna link up, of course.
You know where
Um,
in
no
my
doubt.
house, so let me know when you're there.
Oh yeah, bad. I think, so I think I said it last time. My mom's gonna be down there with me too.
Oh,
Because
dope.
because we were trying to go overseas to kick it with my niece while she's in college. But I think, with money and everything, we was like, we might as well just take this trip down south for a little bit, kick it, and then we got a rendezvous back to that. So there you go. So there's that. Um, oh, the samples of the clothing I've been working on Goldbrick Olympics. I've been like, I'm happy about this because I haven't ever tried to come up with a brand or anything that um like, especially with clothing, because it's something I always want to do as a dream in a way. And it's like good for me to do this because it's like a goal. It's like, you set out a goal like years way back in the day. You just like, man, I probably will never do this. And I actually got time to do it. I'm trying to I really want to plan to make this into something some more. So I'm more wearing your brand is important. I never really thought about that too. Something that represents what you're trying to do. So I'm I don't know. I'm kind of like it's kind of like a personal growth thing in a way too. Even though it's a LLC open, but it's it's important that I take this seriously and try to do more with it. I don't think there's anything else for now. Oh yeah. Last thing, my band. Going back to my band, we might be playing a big festival in either April or March. Um, Basically, it's called the Cherry Blossoms Festival. If you're in the DC area, you know about it. I know Groove knows about it. Um, and I know other people. I'm not sure who else is from DC that's in here, but we might be doing the Cherry Blossoms Festival. We just got to wait out and see when they give us the exact date, and that's going to be fun. I will be doing a show appearance at I want to say it's DC History Week, and they have a hip hop section of the show coming up on um, Friday the 13th. Fingers crossed. Let's have good luck that day, of course. Um, I forgot what it's going to be particularly, but I know it's like part of DC History Week with my homeboy Joey Bless and a bunch of other OG rappers from around the way. So yeah, that's about it. I have talked long enough, and I'm not sure who else is in here because I just got in here and was asked to speak. So I'm gonna pass it to the Andrew. Oh, D-Nick, did you get to speak or?
You are literally the third check-in, so you can pick from anybody. And I encourage everyone to keep your check-in to 3 minutes.
I hope I was leaving 3 minutes. I'm not sure
Yes,
that.
you are. You're good.
Okay, cool, cool. All right, I'll pass it to D-Nick. D-Nick. All right.
Peace and blessings, everybody. Man, Artemis and anybody I will not be at Nerdcore Days, because I'm bummed about that. I see that face.
Wait, wait, wait,
Um,
wait. I'm sorry. I forgot to message you about this. You do know there's like you can perform after a certain hour of night, right?
Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. Go
there,
ahead. Go ahead,
there's
D-Nick.
there's that. I just and I checked in on that, and actually. No, that's certain acts. You got to get approved for that.
Uh,
So yeah, so we can't perform. And the way the schedule is, they have like we can't be gone for that long a time. So we're performing at the end of like South by Southwest. So we'll actually be getting in town in Austin like literally as everything is ending, all y'all gonna be leaving Austin, Texas when we come in. Because our set is on St. Patrick's Day. So we'll be there for the end of like the last couple of days, the last 3 days for South by Southwest. Because we're doing an official show. So a little bummed about that. Like really bummed about that, but it is what it is. Still blessed, but I'm doing my due diligence to help some of our people, from Nerdcore days to do some stuff out in Chicago. So like just moving parts and dadding it up. So it's been that's been fun. And also working on some things for Des Moines, Iowa for the DSM Breakers in Des Moines, Iowa. So we'll be performing out at DemiCon, and we're guest of honor for DemiCon as well as the Midwest Gamer event in Milwaukee. So Gross Angel, who's a Nerdcore Days, he's going to be performing in Milwaukee. So he was asking about hooking him up with some extra things in Milwaukee, and we got a lot of peoples out in Milwaukee. So just trying to maximize our time and just be, like maximize for our people that are coming through the Midwest and like help out like this crew out in Des Moines, Iowa, DSM Breakers, because they're the they're the only premier breaking crew in Des Moines, Iowa that I'm aware of. So, gonna, they want to partner with us. And so we're gonna help out. They actually did an event in Chicago, so just helping out with that. And yeah, just that's what's going. So again, bummed about that. But if there's anything that y'all would recommend us checking out, and definitely read that fine print for anybody that's doing an official South by Southwest show. They are strict, and also on the corporate side of that type of stuff, they're making it midweek to midweek. And that's why, and from what I was told, they're trying to differentiate, and this is not my language, this is the corporate language. They're trying to differentiate the weekend warriors from the artist professionals, because they're trying to like weed it out. And that's what I was told, and that's why everything is like that. So like obviously we got to do our due diligence and stay, because we all people. So on the professional side and all that stuff. So if there's any resources y'all need from me and anybody needs from me, or any resources I could be beneficial to, like, one hand washes the other. So blessings to everybody. I am gonna pass it to Groove Diva.
Hey, appreciate you.
Blessings.
So the latest from DC is that home rule is under attack. Some of you may know a little bit of DC history well enough to know that other than I know everybody here knows that DC is a federal protectorate. It's not actually a state. So our legally we function somewhat like a U.S. territory, where we have a congressperson but no senators. Said congresspersons, we have one. Some territories have more than one congresspeople, but altogether, these congresspeople do not have the power to vote for or against any particular bill that comes across the table in Congress. So what they do there is sit on committees, right? And they talk about things like if we pass this, then this is how it's going to affect Washingtonians, and we are not happy about it. We would not be happy about it. We would be happy about it if it passed. Or they are there to give feedback on behalf of their constituents, but they do not actually get count. Like, they can cast a reference vote. Fun fact: one time I did sit in the house in Eleanor Holmes Norton's House seat and pressed the little button. It was Christmas break, so they were all gone. Nobody was in there. I was on tour with a staffer, and so her vote does appear on the screen, but it's not part of the totals. It's not calculated in totals when it comes to passing or repealing any bills that become law, or don't become law. Saying that to say that, how does this affect hip hop positively or negatively? Home rule, it was passed in Congress where anything that, just like a territory, anything having to do with internal affairs, we collect our own taxes, our own local, our own state level tax, as opposed, in addition to paying some of the highest percentage of income tax in the country, 33%. Income tax. Yes. See, I saw a jaw drop. Yes. DC's average federal income tax is 33%. And then we pay a state tax on top of that. I'm saying all that to say that's why in like somewhere around the 70s, we had a vanity license plate that says taxation without representation. That was one of the principles on which the U.S. was founded. England was taxing the colonies without having a congression, without having a representative on the court, or having a representative in the parliament. So that was on paper why the U.S. was founded, and so by violating its own it's the principles on which it was founded, DC is still taxing without representation. Fun fact: only a handful of the last few presidents since the 70s have allowed that the plates to be on the presidential limo. It shows whether or not the president themselves, each president himself, is in in solidarity. Sorry, that was a low battery thing. In solidarity with the residents of the District of Columbia. So, all that said, how does this affect hip hop negatively or positively? Our local budget has included such things as programming at the Kennedy Center, an extensive initiative within the last probably about 20 years in putting on making sure that local hip hop artists perform at local venues, including the Kennedy Center. Notice how the name of the very Kennedy Center got changed by somebody who's never done anything for performing arts at the Kennedy Center. And the Kennedy Center is supposed to feature the arts of performing arts of all kinds from all over the nation. Just blatant disrespect to the Kennedy family. Except for one guy from the Kennedy family was in favor of that. He's the kind of flunky of the current administration. The program that Artemis just mentioned, DC History Week, a huge portion of DC's history since 1973 has been rooted in hip hop. A local lyricist, Head Rock, always likes to say that go-go and hip hop are twins, because even though there's a 5-year difference in their birth, they grew and developed and followed similar trends throughout their development, appealed to similar audiences, and a lot of the production, early production in hip hop, including tracks produced by Herbie Love and what's the guy that your boy who worked with Amerie, and then later on Beyonce bought him, Rich Harrison. Yep, Godfather. These are 3 people who have produced tracks that made it into the mainstream R&B, soul, rap charts, however Billboard likes to classify Black American music. So we could lose lots of money if we lose home rule. We lose control of our own budget. We lose programs like Hip Hop Night on during DC History Week. We lose the hip hop based programs that are part of Art All Night DC, which is a local annual festival in September. We would lose the Funk Parade. very, very much, very much a very, very large percentage of that is hip hop. Um, as well as local nonprofits that uh, and small businesses, Words Beats in Life, Guerrilla Arts Inc. is a local business and has used grants to partner with schools to produce their after school programs. Some largely based in hip hop. That was a part of my early experience in performing arts teaching. Had it not been for Guerrilla Arts Inc., many of you have worked with Ashru long before I ever have, and Guerrilla Arts Inc. is a small business, a local small business that puts on a lot of these a lot of this programming in schools alongside Word Beats in Life, and the Commission on Arts and Humanities, DC Commission on Arts and Humanities, does a lot of that. I hope that's I'm under my 3 minutes, and that's my check-in. I'm gonna pass the mic to Andrew because he has his hand up.
Thank you. I mean, personally, I was sick the last 4 days trying to go to, I missed work for 4 days. If you haven't been in New York, the weather's just been disgusting. But that's just a personal thing. On a personal note or hip hop way, I was just talking to Lisa that if you know anyone that does work with neurodivergence in music and research, they just started a new network through Berkeley Able, meaning they're going to have their own publication, they're going to have their own conference. It's a really big win for that community that I feel doesn't get that recognition as a lot. Or I try to publish things of it and then they gatekeep and say like, oh, we decide not to do it anymore. I'm like, so this is a big win for that. Another big win is I'm going to be presenting at this conference that's in Colorado called the Music Will Conference. It's had previous practitioners. If you ever heard of Marlon Richardson, Pinky Ring, they've all have presented at, well, Pinky Ring's the head of the hip hop K through 12, so I'm sure she's going to be there. But this is exciting for me to share my work that I keep doing with hip hop and neurodivergence and bringing it to popular music educators, because one of my goals has always been with this work is connecting people like you with music educators, because believe it or not, that gap or that bridge doesn't exist as much as you would think. So that's something that I'm really pushing for. I'm finishing up, well, not finishing up, but I'm still working on a website, which I'll share soon, that kind of goes into my work, kind of goes into how hip hop and neurodivergence works. I'm actually having a group for Black History Month. I mean, it's going to be after break, but they're doing the song All My Life to represent the Lil Durk and J. Cole clean version, not the J. Cole part, if you know that song. But it's just a great way for them to have representation, because obviously where I work, all the students are neurodivergent. So it's very exciting. And let's see, there was that. And I guess just stay tuned. I know I'm going to be having a publication through Berkeley Able, the Words Beat in Life journal. Someone was talking about Words Beat in Life. I put a publication in that should be coming soon. That's going to be the start of a big project that I'm doing, which is writing a memoir of my journey through hip hop and neurodivergence. So be on the lookout for that. And that's all I really got to say. So I'm going to pass this one from an educator to another. Emil, are you there?
Hey,
Yeah.
everybody. Oh, let me see. Yeah, I'm here. I hope you guys can hear me. Yeah, back in Cape Town, I just went to all of the 14 schools this week to just catch up and see how far the kids are, and they just took in the year just began, so it's a lot of young people. And you can see this. This is the USB that we're releasing. It's 17 music videos and 17 tracks. And one of the songs I just sent the link is actually being played on the radio. And so I'm busy, getting the kid to perform in different places, and trying to, obviously, I've mentioned this before, that our Swedish funder, this is the final year, so we pushing to sell these the music. We also have these. People are interested in getting some tea or bring some back with me to the US. We figured it out that each kid is about $40 for a year's course, and so we're using different techniques to raise the money, and yeah, just trying to find as many ways as possible to raise the money, using also creating concerts at the schools. So I obviously had to go share that with with the principal, but then in the process learned that the possibility of also getting kids to share the idea of how to set up the entire concert. How to do the sound, how to do the backstage, how to do the lighting, all of the other things that sometimes people take for granted. So also looking to pull in organizations that host that type of workshop so that they can be present, and maybe they can actually run the workshop with the kids, and also invite the kids to their universities to see how they go through actually doing sound, so it becomes a job opportunity as well. Yeah, so that's what I'm busy doing back in Cape Town. I'll be here till the end of March. And then we plan to tour that book, Hip Hop as Healing, to a couple of places in the US. Yep, that's me. I'll be busy doing that. So I will pass the mic to Prism. If you're around, can you jump on?
Peace, family. What's good? Good to see y'all. As usual, we made it through another week. For some of us, the week was more difficult than we might have thought it might be, but we're here. We made it. Man, there's a lot, but for me, it's not a moment that goes by that I don't keep in mind why we do the work that we do. Trying to make sure that we share this information so it's easily accessible to others. Whether people agree or disagree is usually not the case. It's more of just putting the information out there so people can make a more informed decision. And it's not always work that is appreciated, but for us, when we see the impact or we see the change in somebody's behavior or their life, or the directions or the decisions that they're making, we could be thankful that we played some kind of part in that growth and that development. So all of you guys are doing amazing things. I definitely appreciate Groove sharing a little bit more about DC. Definitely a lot of similarities with Puerto Rico and DC as far as the status and but we won't get into all that because that's a whole other thing. But really, for me, it's one of those things where I've never really put much into politics because I always felt like it's always been on us, the people, to do what needs to be done in the community. I take into consideration groups like the Black Panthers and the Young Lords that really demonstrated we have to do for ourselves. Like, we can't keep waiting for these politicians that don't live in the same communities to come back, even though they came from there, to come back and remember us and think about us, because 9 out of 10 times, once they get into politics, they might have got in with the best intentions to represent their community and their people and their constituents, but then it becomes about, I got to keep my job. I got to do what I got to do to make sure that I still have my seat next term and make sure I don't mess up my opportunity to move up to the next level in the rankings and get that other opportunity. And their obligation becomes more to securing their political career than actually representing the communities that they come from, you know? So this is why it's always on us to host these events, these meetings, these programs, these lessons, these websites, these radio shows, these platforms where we can really feature the work that groups like ours are doing to make a difference and to make a change. What gets frustrating about this time for me with politics is that of all the things that I'm like, yeah, we can't rely on them to do that. We got to do it for ourselves. I thought their primary function was to prevent this kind of bullshit from fucking happening. All right. Whether it was Democrat or Republican, I thought their primary function was to prevent somebody from running unchecked and violating laws and agreements and overstepping boundaries and not checking them. So I'm really baffled by how this man and his cabal are able to get away with so much. And it's to the point that I wish we were all making six figures so that way we could take the time off to go pressure our councilmen and our assemblymen and our senators and our, you know, and our mayors and our governors and our representatives, because it's like we need to face with each one of them as individuals and let them know this is not okay. And if you don't do something about it, we will be voting in my neighbor from down the block who has a much better grasp of reality and what's happening than you do. You know what I mean? And that's really the level that we have to get to if we want to make some change. You know, just complaining on social media is not going to do it. Just, you know, doing a little podcast here and there, that's cool. And it helps get the information out. But part of these podcasts needs to be contact your councilmen, your assemblymen, your senators, your mayors, your governors, every official that has a voice for you and your people. You need to contact them, whether through email or phone or on their social media page or whatever, and let them know you do not accept this. You do not want this. We're looking at alternatives. If you can't get this done, then we're voting Mr. X or Mrs. X from down the block. And we really need to get to the idea that we can nominate our own candidates. We don't have to keep settling for the puppets that they put in front of us and the one or two that they let slip in just for the illusion of choice when they already have figured which person they're going to do. When we nominate our own people and we can have an international or even a national, in this case, a politics movement where we can have groups in each of these states all writing in Rahman Jamal, you know, or Anita Tobin on the ballot, that they see, oh, they got 10,000, they got 20,000, they got 50. That's a base that they now have to come find out how can they support you and the 50,000 people standing behind you so they can get your support, right? So even if we don't win, we start building a foundation in the base. So they say they have to come talk to us to get our 100,000, our 200,000, our 300,000 votes, right? That's part of the unions and all these groups that organize so they had political and economic power. This is why I keep saying it's on us and groups like the Congress to get together and really organize and structure, create lists for your state of all your state representatives and your representatives and pass those out. Create flyers or brochures, post them on your social media. Here's all the representatives for your state. Here's their email, here's their phone number, here's their social media. Contact them, let them know your thoughts. Until we get it to there, a lot of it is like screaming in the wind. You know, and I don't want to beat a dead horse because I know a lot of us know this, but it's like we really need to direct this thing more effectively. You know, like the March on Wall Street years back was a movement, but it was in the wrong place. Sitting and parking and camping out in Wall Street for weeks and months didn't change what Wall Street was doing. But when we put the pressure at the governor's mansion and the mayor's office and our senator's office and our representatives and our councilmen and assemblymen, then they the ones that got to get up and change the law so that way Wall Street can't get away with this kind of stuff. It's the same kind of steps we have to take now. So other than that, each one of us is continuing doing the work that we can. You know, KRS said in an interview on Arsenio that I shared a couple of days ago, rebel in whatever way you can. For everybody, it's not marching. For some people, it's writing a brochure. For some people, it's hosting their own event to give a safe space to kids. For some people, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Do what you can to make a positive difference in this community. On that, I'll leave it there. Keep doing the work that you're doing. Any way I can support, chosenhiphop.com, always here. And let me see. Marquez, I'll pass it to Marquez. Peace and blessings, fam. You there, Marquez?
Yeah.
There you go. Peace. Yep.
Mighty day, everybody. World of my people. Another celebratory day of life, and we've made it through. Like my man President always said, a reason to smile every day. Not to mention, I turned 6 on Tuesday. Life celebration still going down. So it's joyous about years, traveling around this universe, and just bless people with my beautiful testimony about the miracle blessing we talk about. So y'all know what I'm about. Breaking this life, still fighting building because do right. It's corporation. That's why I still ain't got no balance. And why they ain't cleaning up. But other than that, we celebrating life. 6, 2, 5. Before Bob, waiting Bob and me. Hey, it's actually my other daughter's today. For a message.
He froze.
No, come on.
Oh,
Unfreeze Marquez.
I'm not froze.
There you go.
Okay.
We see you now.
we see you now.
And you know, just being thankful. A motto that you elevate more because he did it just thankful.
And he froze again.
Yeah. Marquez, you just keep freezing.
I don't know why. Am I frozen still?
Not anymore.
Are you on Wi-Fi or cellular?
No, I'm Wi-Fi. I mean,
More importantly, is your cellular connected to the Wi-Fi?
yep. I'm gonna turn it on. Back there. But just being free.
Yeah, connection's choppy.
Yeah. Got a lot of dead air.
Not sure there.
More choppy.
Yeah, you're freezing and then you're just going in and out.
No fair, not fun.
Frozen again.
I don't know, but still fighting the power. And I don't know if y'all been seeing any videos I've been seeing channels. Leave us alone. We won't get the shit beat out of you. Like Godfrey said. So just staying active, staying positive mental, and continue to elevate people's minds and get them to love life. If you gotta love life, that's why I smile. I'm 56. I made it again. And yeah, life is good, enjoy life. Everybody have a smiley, blessed day. I'm gonna pass it to Bigglesworth.
Bigglesworth. And there he is.
Why does this guy say nothing? This ain't. I don't know what this guy is saying. I dig that song. It just made me.
X gonna give it to you? What?
No. Who we
They don't
be?
know
They
who
don't
we
know
be. That's the shit.
who
Oh,
we be.
and that's
Da-na-na-na, da-na, 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 da-na. Nonetheless, all the Moza. Hello, hi, everybody. It's all good. It's all good. I've got some good news. Just so happens that in my area there are like two kids that has TikTok accounts with 100K plus followers each, and they found out that I am like a filmmaker type thing, and they were like, "Oh, so you the guy that they said I must speak to?" And I was like, okay, what about? I don't know what you're talking about. Whatever it is." They said, "Nah, you did nothing wrong. We want to do some short films and whatever the case may be." So I said, "Okay, cool. I will help you out with direction and all of these things, and possibly hook you up with prominent people, not Mickey Mouse, TikTok uh, people, um, so that you can boost your profile and push it out, because it seems like you're doing something right. You're getting all these followers. I'm prepared to piggyback you, Mo, because I'm going to help you. You scratch my back and I'll scratch yours." So, pretty excited about that. Not too excited, but it would just be nice to have someone else say or mention the name of, or make some sort of a short film of their understanding of what hip hop is, for that matter, that generation, because we have a much deeper understanding of what hip hop is than what they do. They were born into it, like all kids with smartphones these days. They don't know what life was like before not having a fucking phone and having to speak to someone face to face, approach a girl, muster up the courage to go to this girl and speak to her, or speak to some guy, make a friend or whatever. They don't know that shit. So it would be interesting to get their take on it, and it would be interesting to let them get in contact with someone who's been in the industry for a while, right? To give them the breakdown of everything and see how they receive it at the end of the day. Because as all teenagers, they know everything, everything in inverted commas. So, yeah, there's not much you can do about that. They're still going to turn around and say, "Hey, fluck to you. I don't care what you just said. I'm still going to do my old thing, you old fart." But beyond that, um, it's all good. It's all good. That was all that I was on about, and I like. I think it was the Nick, what he said about the politicians, man. I really dig that. I really dig that, because that's the direction that we must go in. Is hold them accountable, but not only that, fire them, man. Fire them out of a cannon into the sun. Yeah, it will serve as a good lesson for the next one who is going to step into that position, you know? Because, yeah, it's true what you are saying. It's like politics are the same worldwide, man. Worldwide, it don't matter which country you are going. You can go to an African country, European, come to you guys, South America. Once they are there, they try to keep their seat. That's what happens. It's the job. The sustainer becomes whoever sponsoring them or keeping them in that seat. Not knowing or not realizing that the sustainer is the people, because if the people rise up, there is some shit that's gonna go down. Do you think every member of the armed forces is gonna start shooting at their family? Do you think that? Do you think that's gonna happen? Do you think police people are gonna arrest their family members and people that they know who are just taking a stand? No, I think they're also gonna turn around and be like, okay, you know what? Give the people what they want because this we can't handle this. But unfortunately, like he said as well, the fact that they keep you working, right? They give you this long working hours. You don't have the time to socialize. You don't have the time to make a movement that is really gonna impact their operation that they have got going on, right? We have this time to do what we can do, but how you gonna really mobilize it into something that is gonna be fruitful and they're gonna sit up and be like, oh shit, they fucking serious. Just give it to them. Just give it to them. Just give it to them. Because they don't want to lose their position in the hierarchy. And that's shit that happens. I can tell you this much. That happens here where I live. There is a place called Sikwalo. It is a squatter camp. It is just on the it's on the cusp of Mitchell's Plain and going beyond. So you have to drive past it to get to town. And what these guys do if they need stuff is they burn shit, they close off that road entirely. Right? And you know what? Within a few days, they get what they want because they are blocking the entire Mitchell's Plain from getting to work. And because of the action that they took, they got what they wanted. And I was like, wow, these people are actually very, very organized. They are intellectuals amongst these people who are giving these orders and saying, look, if we do that, right, we're gonna get it because to them it already looks like we've got nothing to lose. But because governments all over and corporates all over give you just enough to feel as though you've got everything to lose, that is what makes it tricky. But yeah, that's my little techie. Like, I don't know who else went. I think I was the last person. So Jamal. Hey?
Ramen
What you
and
say?
Frank.
Rahman.
All
Speak
right.
with Rahman.
Thank you, Naeem. And I'm happy to go last too if DeFranco wants to. Is he even still on here? Oh yeah, there you are. You want to? Either way.
Yeah, I'll jump in, bro. Not feeling the greatest today. Will accept any and all healing vibes sent my way, but doesn't stop me. Might slow me down a little. Personal update. I might be staying at my job up until April, just because they're paying for me to get a couple certifications that I could use. For our nonprofit, one being mental health first aid, and the other one being certified workforce development professional. Other than that, as I mentioned previously or last week or the week before, it had to be last week because the whole Grammy event that we had planned, I guess both Chad Harper and myself, Chad Harper being from Hip Hop Saves Lives, were kind of liaisons and, middlemen to the event for War Wheels and I forget the other organization, Associated Handicap Advocates, but they ended up having the event, and I know Chad and myself that they did put Hip Hop Saves Lives and Hip Hop Congress on the flyer as a concession, I guess, for our efforts. But I have been in conversations with Fresh from the LA Breakers, and so we do have some plans coming up. Probably another kids battle, and just keeping that LA Breakers relationship strong. And I did reach out to the UCLA chapter. They had responded. As far as I know, they sent their dues, which was great. I replied to that email, attempting to open that line of communication, advising them. I don't know if you saw that email, Rahman, but just trying to establish that relationship and in the best way possible, using the best wording to my ability and as welcoming as possible. Just letting them know that I haven't been able to make it out to their events because they're usually during the day, during the week when I work, but that we definitely want to support them and we want them to engage with the network. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully they'll put me in contact with somebody on their end. I also advise them of an idea I've had for the last couple years at least, about doing an awareness festival on the UCLA campus. So again, hopefully I can get that line of communication open and established and be able to finally make that come to fruition. The idea is to basically use the initial concept of Hip Hop Congress and bridging the community and the educational institutions, UCLA being one of the biggest ones here in LA and Southern California. So hopefully I'm able to eventually get that done. Haven't been in contact with Alfredo at all in months. I've reached out, haven't heard back, and so I'm not sure what's going on with him. I may have to drop in at where he teaches high school at Seed LA and see if I can run into him there. But I haven't seen anything either, whether they're doing any kind of events or anything, or active with the South Central chapter. But again, I'll keep y'all updated on that. I'll keep it brief and pretty much let it go by there. I appreciate y'all. Much love and respect for y'all. Always love hearing y'all updates and all the great work that you're doing. Keep it up. I'm also not sure. I think I hadn't heard from Darren Devine, so I'll go ahead and pass it to him.
Hello. Can you hear me out there?
Welcome, welcome.
Yeah.
What's going on, family? Hope everybody's feeling okay on this Saturday. I'm just joining in, getting myself settled. It's been sort of hectic week, just personal wise, but I'm just getting it together, so everything is running smooth. I've been kind of out the loop, kind of like politically, because it was getting a bit monotonous with all the type of news that's out there. I wanted to ask a question because I was talking to somebody about Hip Hop Congress, and I was telling them about the the meetup, the meetups that we're having here, but I was trying to figure out, do they have a YouTube where y'all have the replays?
Yeah, I'm just backed up on that. That's just on me. I downloaded them, but I haven't edited them yet down in time. That's on me. I'm sorry, y'all.
We love you anyway, Anita. But it's all good. But I'll because so I want to be able to refer people to, like, say if for whatever reason they can't make the Zoom call, that they're able to listen in and just get an idea of the kind of topics that we be. And I think and I think it's refreshing that people hear what we have to say versus what's out there in the world, because like like a lot of the stuff that was going on, I had to kind of like detach myself from it because it was getting monotonous. Like, when your personal friends are getting caught up in all of the monotony that's out there, it's like I just had to, I had to kind of chill out a while and just kind of focus on, like my personal content for um my page and stuff like that. But other than that, you know, just everything is everything. We was talking about one of the biggest news is what we was talking about. At least me and Anita was talking about it, but in like a voice chat. We was talking about one of the big independent artists that just signed a big deal. The Russell, he just signed a deal with Rock Nation, and there's like the internet's kind of divided on it because he's like our hero so far as like on the independent scene. So now that he's signing a deal with Rock Nation, there's a lot of people that's kind of not feeling that. It's kind of feeling like Superman hooking up with the Legion of Doom. Say. So, I mean, especially when he originally was in talks with them and he was just like, no, they was trying to chump me off and da da da. And they was like, well, hey, if would you ever do a deal, say there? And he was like, no. So that's it. It's like, hey, I signed with Rock Nation and I'm gonna be in the Super Bowl. And everybody's like, what? So that's just, I don't know how everybody else feels about it. I'm just confused. Like I said, I'm happy for him, but at the same time, but I'm like, with them? So, um, but other than that, that was just like the just on the hip hop tip. The Grammys was that was the other story. Okay, that was that performance that they did with D'Angelo. That was like the best thing. That was like one of the best performances that I've seen in a while. And you know, yeah, that was just but let me give a shot before I forget. Let me give a shout out to Emil because I seen a freestyle he did that was dope. So I just wanted to say, yo, brother, that was a dope freestyle. So let me just give you your props for putting that out there. I don't know if you got that like I don't know if that's like recorded or anything like that, but if it's not, you need to record that. So yeah, that's yeah, people. That's all I just have just off the top of my head. So I don't know who else. Is anybody else that has that can add to that or what they're feeling about it, or is anybody in the chat that hasn't spoke yet? Because I'm just kind of
Yeah,
like somebody.
I'll jump in. I think I'm the last person that hasn't checked in, and appreciate your check in there. I appreciate everybody's check in, man. So much was dropped um, that I wanted to speak to. Um, but yeah, just well, I'll start off with the organizational type stuff. So, um, any events that folks are doing, um, please start posting them up to the calendar because we're going to be using that to populate the newsletter. We met with Martha and Tiffany at Hip Hop Education Center. We're now running HHCU, so like we're doing we're splitting the work that NovaWorks was doing, mainly because the design of the website is not up to par with what HHEC's standards want it to be. we're still in charge of that activities feed. So that's really our contribution to that, and that's a tool for us. So thank you, Anita, for posting the clubhouse events on there and the information. I learned that it needs to be from an admin end, needs to be copy and pasted and then reposted. And then even though I did that and trying to find it on here, there's just some glitches and bugs that I need to look at. And so that's going to get us more efficient. The more that we start using it, then we can get through those bugs. So I heard a lot of great things happening from everybody, events coming up and projects dropping and things like that. So as soon as you get those dates, pop them in on the calendar so that we can populate that calendar with that, and then we can start putting the newsletter together and promote those events. So that's for us, for all of our benefit. And then, just what else? Past week. So I'll do the okay. So tomorrow we're also doing keep it on the national tip first. We're international. We're meeting XCOM tomorrow a little earlier at 12 noon Pacific. It's to work around the Super Bowl. I'm going through the chapter manual and just updating language. Would like everybody that's on the XCOM to kind of look through that, do the same. You can add comments or you can change things. I think we'll discuss any change. I'm just kind of going through changes because some of it is like, it's from 2 years ago and it's not as relevant. So I'm just going through that and trying to update that language. But if we can be familiar with what that's looking like, and we can have a quicker meeting tomorrow. And then what else was there? The sponsorship deck. That's the other thing that I want to finalize tomorrow so that we can get that out to the chapters. We've got some new chapters. Thank you to Franco for following up on the UCLA tip. Looks like their checks en route, so that was much appreciated. And we have to reach out to all the new chapters that have paid their dues, give them that link to the new chapter handbook and the sponsorship deck, et cetera. So that'll be our main agenda for tomorrow. Anita, as you're putting the videos together, I'm glad Darren brought that up. I'm glad you said that you were editing them. I know as an editor, that is a huge job that will just pile up and get overwhelming. I'm wondering if there's some sort of AI app that can just help you get rid of the dead time so you don't have to just snip everything. So
the app that Rocky sent us, what is it, P Cloud? Is that right? Send me an app a minute ago about that. I just haven't looked at that yet because I was like, I can do it, and clearly I haven't.
Yeah, man, editing is it's so tedious. So yeah, any type of help with tech, I think we should look into that. Because I agree 100% with Darren that these conversations are the freshest thing that are happening because we've been solution oriented for so long, and a lot of these conversations is just reaction to what's now coming to light and everything. As far as local updates from last week, the dojo had a actually pretty eventful week. So last weekend I had to leave early to call because we had our sparring tournament, which went really well. Had about nine students participate in that. Getting the kids to, I'll frame this in the sense of, shit is so crazy in the world right now. The only way that I'm able to stay sane about it is because we can't fix the system, but we can build the strong next generation and give them opportunities to allow them to grow into their greatest potential. That's the only thing that I can put faith in and know that's good work that can't be taken away from by any government or system or whatnot. And we might not see the direct benefits of it but we know the long-term benefits are there just by providing young people with a new opportunity that they might not otherwise be able to um, imagine or experience. And those truths come back up in even conversations with folks that that I've had personal conversations, families. It's like if you're not raised and supported with the love to say, hey, try this thing when you're young, those limitations stay in your mind as you become an adult, and ultimately keep you in that limited reality. And so one of the things that we can do is like the work that Emil's doing. Like, that's so dope. You got 17 tracks and 17 music videos. Definitely got to promote that. I want to just watch it, be inspired. Like, this is the type of content that we need in rotation. It was cool to see names dropped at the Grammys that are closer to home. It was cool to hear Megaran name dropped in the Grammy speech and everything, and see Chad Harper's like brief close up on the clips of the Grammy TV and stuff. And it was like, okay, like we're starting to infiltrate into the mainstream, just off of the work that we're doing um, consistently over time. And I think eventually it's like the work that we're doing is going to be the only work that matters. Um, right now it's the most important from my perspective, but um, and that's what keeps me focused in the craziness. But yeah, we so the other update locally is we got a contract with I had mentioned this last week with the charter school on the Oracle campus. So it's like right in the backyard of Larry Ellison. I found out that he doesn't really have anything to do with the school. He's just funding it. But we did a wrestling intercession, had 14 kids. That was amazing. We really, we're two of the kids are petitioning to get a wrestling team for them, and we were able to give them that support, to say, hey, this is possible. You got this resource here in the studio. They were really stoked to be in a actual martial arts studio and gym, because a lot of their classes are just like they bring instructors onto the campus, and it's not as lit. So they were enjoying the spring floors and the punching bags and all of that stuff, and gave them some good workout. Unlocked some of them had never worked out before, and now they feeling their muscles for the first time, new muscles. And we collected data from the beginning and the end and all throughout. We had them writing in journals. So we that's going to be going into a proposal that I'm turning in the LOI for, to get to the application, for a big fund that is based off of public health. And so all of this stuff is coming out of necessity, from both economic necessity for myself to have this place make enough income to stay open, but also to just the times, the education, the information of giving this next generation, the best chance. It's like a lot of them are, a lot of the kids that working with these kids, they're becoming more intelligent in the sense of like the information that they kind of see, but what they're missing is the opportunities to really learn what they're capable of. And that, I feel, is like what we're in position for. Like, we're in the position to really give these kids the opportunities to really like find out and discover who they are and what they're able to do. And to me, that's that revolutionary work. I was really inspired, actually, by the Grammy speech that Fuchs said about working, children's albums, like setting the example for what it means to be in harmony and community, and all of those things. So I see these solutions are starting to become more mainstreamed, which is good. You know, it's inspiring to see that and to know that we're in alignment with that. Um, so I would just say that you know, the more, and then the other thought that popped in my head as people were talking was just like how the future is really going to be paved by the quality of relationship. You know, no matter where you are, you know, it all comes back down to the fundamentals of like how we how we show up for how we show up for each other, but really that's contingent on how we show up for ourselves. And that allows us to show up for each other. And so taking the time to keep the doors of our own potential open and walk through those doors is what's going to empower us to be able to say to the next person, yo, yeah, you can walk this way, like you can step through this door, because you know, a lot of people are looking around and seeing a bunch of closed doors that they thought was going to be there, and they're not. And so, you know, we have the opportunity to open new doors for people, and that's what I see us doing. So, you know, at the end of it, you know, I just, it comes back down to the gratitude for that and for all of y'all. This was it was really dope to hear everybody's update and kind of see where everybody's at with this moment. And yeah, I think these conversations, now that we're recording them on a more in a more accessible format, once we start putting them out there, I think it's gonna be a valuable tool for the people that are looking for these types of conversations and these types of relationships that we've formed over I think it's 4 years now. I think we've been going 4 years weekly, which is pretty good, you know. Started off as an idea of just like, yo, let's just have a spot where we can meet up, a watering hole, so to speak. And we've been going 4 years strong, so it's really dope to see where we've taken this. And so that's my check-in. You can open up the mic if anybody wants to pop in. Lots has been said. Definitely, yeah, share links in the chat so we can get that in the recording so that we can reference back to it. Share links on the activities feed on HHCU, share those events. Just going to keep stressing that, because we are building the infrastructure that we need for ourselves. And yeah, once that gets working, you know, word starts spreading, people start saying, hey, these guys are efficient over here, and the proof is in the pudding, then we don't really have to do anything. We just got to keep doing what we're doing, and hold that space, you know, hold our position and not let any of this other shit throw us off. You know, sometimes in chess, the winning move is to hold your position, and so I see us doing that, as well as you know, sticking it to the man. But yeah, I'll end it there and open it up to any comments and thoughts and reflections from anyone based off anything that's been said.
Yo, so on the topic of the Grammys, because that's what everybody keeps referring to. One, happy Black History Month for the rest of my life, okay? Like, let me just clap it up for my fellow tar bloodder / he went to Cleveland School of Arts, my best friend's best friend, Duran Bernard. I know y'all didn't know that, but now you do. Yeah, it was interesting because I watched he put out a video, Duran did, about his journey to the Grammys, right? So he's been around for years. Like, none of you are from Cleveland, so you don't know this, but he's always been in the theater. His dad was a guitar player for not Sly and the Family Stone. What am I thinking of? Gosh, why am I going blank on the band? Right, Earth, Wind and Fire. There we go. His mother was a music teacher, father was also an audio engineer, so there was a lot that he knows about, right? Musically. So, just to give you a background on him real quick. Fast forward that, he sang in the different, well, there's only one open mic night in Cleveland ever, and that's Lyrical Rhythms. And it used to be huge. Like, it used to be lines out the door to get into Lyrical Rhythms. Now you can just walk in. But anyways, fast forward that he was telling his journey, and he's had 5 other nominations prior to getting this actual Grammy. Nominations for vocal record or vocal arrangements, nominations for, writing, nominations. He's had nominations, right? He won with a group of people, but had never won on his own. So this time around, he said, hey, I'm gonna go, but I'm gonna sit in the back because I know I'm not gonna win. I'm gonna sit in the back because that's closest to the door. Because every time I sit up front, I never win. I'm never there. I'm just gonna sit in the back. That was his whole plan. So when you see the video of him running to the stage in that almost, cartoon character kind of a way, it was because he counted himself out. He counted himself out after 5 near wins, right? Like had one, he was on the track with what is it, Tank and the Bangers, Erykah Badu. He's worked with a lot of people, just a slew of people he's arranged for. And that was something that really resonated with me because I was like, you know what? People always count themselves out after the first try, not realizing that even though he went back and back and back, and these are all little things that led up to it, he actually got nominated for his own work and won for his own work after everything. And he counted himself out. So I just wanted to put that out there because we were talking about Mega Ran. And, Mega Ran he didn't win, right? But that doesn't mean you count yourself out. And when it comes to the Grammys, the other thing, because Darren and I were talking about this actually, it is, and there's a video out there about it that is it about the location of the people too, because you get to vote within a certain area of where you are, wherever you have a Grammy chapter, essentially, you get to vote. Now, with that said, you have all of these things that are going on and other people who are ignoring this in the world. Because I don't know if y'all paid attention to, I didn't watch the whole Grammys, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't. But the videos that I saw, the audience was very light. Like there was not, it was not sold out. It wasn't packed to the gills. Like there were empty seats everywhere. And usually those types of award shows, they have seat fillers and all types of things. So the first part of my question / statement / let me know what y'all think is don't count yourself out, right? Like we got Mega Ran, let's keep hyping up our homies. Let's keep hyping up all the people that we do know because our community is the community they have been stealing from for years, and finally they're giving us our just due. But on the other side of that is what happens when you don't have your audience? What do you still do? Because that was something that I saw that I don't think I've ever seen at an award show of its size or brevity before, was the empty room. And this was not COVID. So just wanted to put that out there around things that I was noticing and what you guys thought around that and how we can help elevate our community a little bit more, whether that's creating our own shows or should we continue to give into, even though the Grammys is kind of trying to get back community centered-ish, should we still do that? Or should we still remain independent, if you will? So I'll open the floor that way.
Can you hear me? I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
You got
Go ahead.
No, you got it, Artemis.
Oh, I was gonna say 2 things. Speaking of the Grammys, I do have to shout out 2 people who I know were part of 2 Grammy wins. My engineer, Ron Vento, he engineered that children's album that won. Like me and him been working for years, and it was good to see that he actually was part of something that won something like that. This is somebody who's, first of all, he is a metal musician that is like knows all kinds of like ways to engineer any kind of genre of music. It's amazing that he can do that. And it was just dope to see them get just due. And this is somebody who used to work for the Face Records as a mix engineer. So shouts to that. And Skills winning the spoken word poetry album was crazy because my ex co-worker, and a good friend of mine, and also one of my college homies, Kia Bennett, she was a part of that album. And it was good to see that he won that. And like in terms of hip hop too, I think that says a lot because Skills used to be called Mad Skills, and he's been known for quite a few things over the years. So I thought that was dope. So in the context of you talking about counting yourself out and all that, Anita, I definitely understand that. Like, you shouldn't, like, you gotta keep going for it as much as you can. I'm actually for the DC version of the Grammys. I'm going through that called the Whammies, and I'm in the runnings once again. Hopefully, I can win it. If I don't, then we'll just see what happens next time. You dig what I'm saying? But with that said, I completely understand that because sometimes you just be like, well, it ain't gonna work out. So you just be like, well, time for the next thing to pop off. But anyways, I just wanted to say that on the subject of that, it was good to see some peoples of mine who I know have worked hard, and it's actually very inspirational to kind of reflect on that. Be like, I've known them both for a while and seen them work in various capacities, and they get their just due now. That's really dope.
Yeah, I agree. Man, thank you too, Anita, for saying that. About like I'm for me, and Artemis as well. Like and who another DC person for the record, K Murdoch, worked on that children's album with Mega as well. So that's dope. He got some production on our last offering. So shout out to Murdoch. Um, and see, it's really about the goals, because I don't like the level of press that Mega got for this run. Like, man, like how much would that have cost if you're trying to compete in the corporate sphere? You know what I'm saying? Like that, like, you're on Bootleg Kev, you're on all these different pods I've never heard of. You're able to look at what the system is and you're able to bring that back. You're able to bring that back to the community if you so choose, if that's a goal of yours. You know what I'm saying? I look at it as a win. It's what you are offering, what you want, what are your goals, and what is the lower goals and what are the maximum goals and what can you cultivate from all of that? Like for like knowing like Mega personally, I was texting him throughout the whole get down. You know what I'm saying? And to see all our peoples out there, as well as even, watching him link up with Ad Two out of Chicago. Ad Two was he was signed to Jamila like a while ago, and I came up with Ad Two like in the rankings and on the mic and all of that type of stuff. So he's on like a Grammy, some one of those suit things, and it's always good to see him, and then to see him and my guy link up, and it was like, oh, that's dope. So it's just really for me, it's always about goals, um, like, and it's a step like for Mega, like the last children's album he did got Grammy consideration. This one got the Grammy nomination. And then that's just interesting, just that entire process. So it's just like, and those are all step ups. You know what I'm saying? From consideration, that's the thing, to nomination, that's the thing. And then, like Ja willing, if brother goes for it again, he gets to win. But like in lieu of, if that's a goal of yours, not necessarily a goal like for like say a act like my group or anything like that. It's dope to see, but to see everything you got to go through to get there. That's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, am I willing for that? Like especially as an independent, I'm not really interested. You know what I'm saying? And blessings if you are, like, so it's just really about goals. If it's a thing like of just getting press and all of that type of stuff, or like what are the categories? Like it's I know like Artemis said skills won, and I think it was last year Jay Ivy got the win, for in the poetry section. So, couple years ago, Amir Suleiman, who's Hip Hop Congress, you know, affiliate as well, like won. So it's just I think it just if we just focus on what are our goals and what do we need to do to achieve said goals or at least to compete, you know, lack of a better term, I think that just works. I mean, what have y'all? I'm open to hear.
I just,
Completely agree.
oh,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. You want to go ahead, Nito, or
I'll take it real quick.
okay?
Yeah, so just on the topic of what you before I lose this thought, D Nick, what you were saying around do you need it, do you not? It's or how we get it, right? The fact is we and how they got there interviewing with each other because you're thinking about the cost, right? Yeah, there's a small cost associated with all of this, like articles, interviews, things that you can do that are not traveling because that becomes expensive. But we have the internet; it's still in the power of our hands, even though corporations are trying to take it. Um, but I look at this like Kaylani, she has a group chat, right? I'm in one with another artist right now. He started a group chat that is going wonderfully well. Like we talk directly to him every day. Ask him about new projects, and those are the things that help connect you to fans. But also, you never know who's in your room, right? In your audience to actually be able to put your name in other rooms, and that's how that goes. Like especially being down here in Austin and watching that every day. And D Nick, I gotta call you later, but yeah, that's how you're getting it is like doing those little offshoot random interviews and those random little things that you kind of count out as somebody else's like kitschy thing. That's connecting your community. So I definitely encourage us all to not write off other people just because they might seem a little bit outside of your wheelhouse or your genre. I'm stepping off of that soapbox. Darren, go ahead.
No, I just wanted to add on to what I was saying earlier. It's like there's nothing wrong with being on the big stages of that. Just going back to say the La Russell situation, I understand. Like I was kind of like listening to his interviews and kind of like doing a little study and doing some research on it. So we understand his whole thing is that because let's not forget he's built a $2 million empire with that structure that he has. That's on his back. So his whole thing was where he wanted to reach like the commercial radio outlets. Like you said, he's performing in the Super Bowl tomorrow, and those were areas he wouldn't probably been able to reach on his on his independent journeys. And so I get that part. So we get that part of it, and it's always about uh, you know, uh leveling up to as far as you can take it. But it's like, it's always the big concern of where you're aligning with forces that have their own particular agenda on how they do things because all their concern was their only concerns these labels are is just to get as much profit out of you as they can and just kind of like leave you in the dust. So we all know that somebody like him is not foolish enough to just go for anything, but they'll probably give you this. They'll probably allure you with all these things like, hey, well, we can give you this and we can do you that. And it's like, okay, that's good for him. But then their standard contract for the rest of the independents, like say if we was to go and we wanted to sign the Rock Nation, we have to give up our internet, intellectual property that other third party companies can come and use AI and do whatever the hell they want with it. And what was the second thing? These were the red flags. The second thing was the split where they're getting, so they'll tell you, oh, we're giving you 85 and we're only going to take 15. That sounds dope, right? And they said, yeah, but the 15% is the gross that they're taking. They're giving you 85% net, which is what's left after, you know what I'm saying, all their expenses are taken out. Then the third thing was they have a clause in their contract where they says as well, if along the way you come to find out that you don't like your contract, you can't sue us. So the question is, why would you have that as a clause in your contract if you was all about doing the right thing? So that's why it's kind of like it's feeling like you're joining. It's like, yeah, you're the hero, you're the savior, but you're aligning with the forces of evil. So it might be good for you, but for the rest of the artists, that would be my thing. It's like if I was to align somebody, I'd be like, hey, y'all need to make this good for everybody. That's what happens when people cross over. They just kind of like they cross over. It's good for them and everybody cheers them. But for the rest of us, we're just in the muck and the mire trying to figure it out. So,
Man, that's dope that you said that. My only question to that is, should we expect them? Because that's a moral play that we put on an institution. Should we because I expect us to be moral. I don't
right.
necessarily expect like any of these institutions that I might have to work with to be moral. So, should we? Should we?
No, I mean, we shouldn't. Well, that's the thing. We shouldn't expect them to do that because we know what their stance is. So,
no, I'm sorry. Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we know what their stance is, so it's kind of like it's sort of like we have to be kind of mindful who we align our. So I was just saying in the sense that a lot of us, I'm just using that as an example of being mindful of who you're aligning yourself with. And then another example I like to give, you have somebody like Tech N9ne. Tech N9ne is the most independent person ever. Okay, he gets no radio play. He's not on no big magazine publications. You don't see him anywhere. He's on the Forbes list with that structure he has, and he has enough of a following and a fan base to where he's on the Forbes list, and that is a solid structure that they have a way to do that. So that's another example of where you could just be independent and you can still reach those kind of boundaries. You know what I'm saying? Like those are the extreme examples. Like we don't always have to look at all of our independent artists are just struggling and we're just going through. If you got a powerful structure enough, if you got a powerful structure, you can do better than a lot of these guys that you're seeing on TV. So just something to kind of like to think about.
Well, the thing, and I'm glad you said it, because I went on the road with him as a roadie. I wasn't his roadie, but I was someone else's roadie that was on the road with him. And the thing, and I learned a lot about that structure, with that brother. Shout out to them. And it goes back to what Anita was talking about, is like what's in your ecosystem, and it also shows how terrible at business that the music industry people are, because some people from that had a furniture business could do that for him. It wasn't, they weren't music people. They were, he aligned with some fans that owned a furniture company. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And that goes into, if we talking about the knowing the goals and knowing the language, that's social capital. So it's this is a fan that had resources and they just merged a business partnership that is totally outside of the music business and entertainment industry, because these are furniture people. You know what I'm saying? That moving.
I just want to interject real quick. That's the way it all goes.
Yeah.
That's the way
No,
all. And back to what you were saying, Darren, around La Russell, look at, Kyrie dropped 11 grand. They're not in the same field at all. I'll give a local example. So we had last Tuesdays with Talib for like 2 years here in Austin. Um, they got too big for their britches, and that's how it got shut down. But when it was active, it was great because like you could just walk into the bar and Talib is just chilling. Like he's on the decks. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a great access. But it was brought to you by Paul Does Realty, right? Like he's a real estate agent. Why are you hosting all of these events if you're real estate? But that's, how it crosses over because you can sell a house just like Tech Nice dude is probably selling hella couches, right? Like, how's this commerce coming back, right? So it's loosely like our it's loosely our co-opoly model, but they're circumventing their capitalists without sacrificing themselves to capitalism, like if you will.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
But thank you for that insight, D Nick. Because I was just like, because I didn't know it. But I'm glad you saying that there was some sort of source. It's normally like that. It's like nobody just blows up out the blue. Somebody's backing you with a considerable amount of money, whether it's the labels, whether it's like you say, a real estate company for whatever. You're getting a big boost of money to do that.
Yeah. I think it's just what are they getting? It's not just your goals. I think we should always, at least for me, I'm in service. I'm in service. So I'm like, what are you getting in exchange for helping me? And it can't just be, maybe I'm too pessimistic, but I'm not pessimist. I'm realistic. Maybe I'm just too realistic to just think it's because like my music is that good, or I'm a good enough person for you to support me. What are you getting outside? What are you getting in exchange for helping me? And I'm always asking myself, like, what do I have to offer you? And if what are you trying to take? And if it's too much for me to let you get, then no deal. If it's what I'm saying, if it's reasonable, or like, okay, and if you're trying to get something that I don't know what you're trying to get, then that's like that's just that's the woo wop. I got to be careful for that. So because you might be trying to get something that I don't even know that I have to give. I don't even know is of value. You're trying to get that, so I got to be careful with that too. That's why I'm in a group and I'm not a solo artist.
Right.
I gotta say on the note with Lorenzo being signed, I'm happy for him in a sort of way. It's like, okay, I've seen the hard work pay off for you. And I kind of understand why he would want to do it, given like listening to his music, he has a variety of stuff that's like very hype and party like and everything, but they don't have like something that's like a little bit raw. He does like have you seen like what he does with his music? He drops a single like it's nothing. He'll drop a single like today if he wanted to, or he'll drop like an album like maybe within a few weeks or so or another month. He's that productive, and then he has his clothing structure. It makes sense. And if he's able to keep his masters and all that, that's good. I kind of feel like, um, you know, he sat down. He did say this. He did sit down with Jay, and he had a good talk with him. And he was like, yeah, if I had a bad vibe about it, I would have dipped out. So that means he's like fully invested in just like saying no to somebody that's like technically iconic in the genre of hip hop, right? I gotta respect Russell for what he wants to do. He wants to get to the other side of what he's been doing and try to get that play and that push. We just hope it works out for him, even if he keeps his masters and everything. I do hope the whole situation works out for him. Like with this industry changing, no matter it's like we don't know what to expect. But yeah, I understand the whole thing about like, is he does it help out the rest of us that are independent too? It's just like, well, does it? That is a very good question. Like, can some of us get the same resources that he got to be able to get his backing? So now he has like a $2 million empire. Can we all do the same? I don't know.
Well, probably not because that was the leverage he used to get that kind of a deal.
Right, that's what I'm saying. No, I get that. I get that question. No, it's a
Right,
very and it's a very good question, because people will
right,
because somebody, in this whole space of music now, a lot of people try to push towards independence for like this is the best time to put out independent music. This is the best time to go independent. This is the best time. And a lot of times that people are trying to get your business because they know they can profit off the artist to make money and get their business popping. So it's always like, can I get to that? What he got? Because it seems like he got a good situation and he was able to capitalize it on it in a positive way too. I gotta say that and stress that. He
right.
made it a very friendly family affair. He was able to tap into the neighborhood around him, families and kids, and even just get on the shit where he's just talking about, look, man, all that street shit. I don't want to talk about that stuff. It's not healthy.
Yeah,
So
I'm no,
that I think that really helped him. But
I'm happy for him in the sense that okay, because like you said, he's a fun artist. Like we're gonna have some positive music come back in the fold, and
right,
whenever you have artist of that caliber putting out that kind of music, that changes the trajectory of the whole industry. Because we've seen how the gangster rap just changed to like all the fun artists that we had in the beginning, like in the 90s, or they all had to either take a step back and let all the gangster rap funnel through. So hopefully he'll be the example to where now people will start being themselves again. There's a lot of people that's just not into that gangster. They don't come from that environment or that lifestyle, but they felt like they had to make that because that's what the industry was pushing. So
right.
now, yeah. So now that we have your Kendricks, now that we have, J. Cole just dropped his project. I gotta listen to that, see how that sounds. Hopefully that won't be his last album. Hopefully that'll just be something that he's just saying just to get the hype on it. And other MCs like female MCs like Doshi doesn't put all the stripper rap kind of things. She kind of like puts in a lot of good music, bars music. She won a Grammy too, by the way. She won the best rap video and all that. So now that we're seeing these people in the fold, hopefully we'll start seeing some better music and that'll be a better image overall, for hip hop, which that's a win. That in that sense, that's the win-win.
No doubt. I think like not only the business applying pressure for all those messages. I feel like a peer pressure came from it too. Um,
Mm.
I feel like it was more so. It was like they're feeding off what the business pressured a lot of artists to talk about, and once like a lot of peers, yes men, friends, family, all that started like some of that started dwindling down because people started realize. I think people started realizing like maybe we shouldn't talk about all this stuff. And there are artists who are just standing up more for it, standing up more for other messages that some of us have been talking about that need to be out there for like, maybe probably 40, 30 plus years. So
Right.
no, it's good. It's a good thing. We just need to see how it play out, because Rock Nation's
Yeah.
distro thing with like the independence, that whole online thing ain't it. So they'll probably give Lil Russ, they probably gave Lil Russell just basically a completely better deal because he has
I would
left.
want to say, I would want to say probably gave them this because Rock Nation is two things. They deal with the label side and they deal with the distribution. From what I'm hearing online, it's
Right, right,
like two
right.
different entities. So probably they gave him the distro, but again, it's still those clauses because, like you say, yeah, sure, we'll give you your masters. Yeah, that's no thing. That doesn't mean that they still don't have the clause where the third party can come in, take your and use AI to take your to make other kind of music other than you, so they don't have to pay you. But you can keep your masters though. That's it's a lot of trickery and treachery that's the kind of stuff that I be talking about. So that that's the kind of like red flags that that we need to be looking for. Because at the end of the day, we don't know what he signed. He just said, "Yeah, I'm signed." He didn't say what he signed. He didn't say what the clauses were. And you hope it doesn't come out later like, "Yo, man, they really jerked me." Same old story that we hear
Yeah,
from a lot of
that could
artists,
very
man.
well happen, even if he does own his master.
It goes back to what does he want, and then what do they want, and you got to think about. So we like when we it's really easy to talk about the gangsters and the strippers and all of that type of stuff, and we're not, and we're talking about it from an art standpoint because we're artists and we're about the culture. But these people are doing collaborations with corporations, so then you got to be like, what are you selling? You know what I'm saying? Because your positive rapidy raps ain't selling like stripper tassels. You know what I'm saying? Your holistic
Ah,
attitude and vibe is not selling liquor. You know what I'm saying? So who is the sponsors and what are their goals? You know what I'm saying? Like, and so like LaRussell, like he be having kids and like stepping up on stage and all of this. Like there's a lot of positive. So there's a lot of so the question or the
Right.
identifying thing should be, is there more youth sponsorship? Like, would we have, what Bernie Mac say? I like my happy rap over here. What happened to all the happy rap? It was because there wasn't nobody was sponsoring it. Like,
Right.
and that's just the reality of it. Like when we Mega Ran, it wasn't like his first get down was the video game stuff. And then, but this Grammy push, it wasn't the Nerdcore record that got him the Grammy consideration or the Grammy nomination. It was a children's album. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Harmony won a children's Grammy. You know what I'm saying? And there was some other hip hop in that, thing. Like, man, I forget the rapper, and I was messing with Mega. I was like, because he had a battle rap against him and this other nominee had to battle each other, but they had to battle by complimenting the other rapper. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I told him, I was like, man, that was the best. That was a trick bag because you lost that battle, but you got better accolades than that dude. So you kind of won by losing that battle. Like
That's a
shout
super
out to my
dope
boy
concept.
Mega. Cause the dude was like smoking him on the compliments, like because he's in his books world record, all this. And I was like, dang man, he kind of cooked you in the compliments. Like
I
that's
would
some
love to see that. That sounds super dope.
it's a video. It's a video. You got to check it out. It's really funny. I forget the name and the shout out to that artist. Like, but I was texting Megan like making fun of him like, yo man, my man just cooked you, but he was complimenting you, so you're actually a more qualified person. It was just a funny moment for me, And I
Right.
always like to mess with like my more famous friends, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
To knock them down a peg. But like, yeah, it goes back to the goals and the sponsorships. Like we like LaRussell like can probably get a totally different level of sponsorships than like some of the other like artists and
Wow.
stuff like that. Like knowing Brother Ali, and I'll end it here. Like he told me, and we all like I met Invincible at a hip hop Congress thing, and she was supposed to be the female Eminem, and Slug was supposed to be the more positive Eminem, Slug from Atmosphere. But they wanted to stay independent. Invincible wanted to stay doing community work, and love to both of them, and you know, but like look at how much as popular as like Slim Shady was, look at what he probably had to give up for being the derogatory like artist. Look at like what he didn't get for saying the stuff that he said. Like there's a whole bunch of things like Snoop had to totally convert to Rastafari, you know what I'm saying, just to be able to go to the White House and be like, oh well, it's okay if he smokes weed because he's a Rastafari. Like he had to totally change his religion, and then turned around and did a gospel album right after that. So like all of these people, it's just a goal. It's a goal thing and it's a sponsor thing, and it's we don't like to say this stuff, because we're artists and we're creative and we're community, like advocates and activists and stuff like that. But the reality is, man, if we're looking in the service and we're doing business with corporations, what are they getting? What are they getting? What do we have to offer them? And if we don't like what they want to take, man, we can't do business with them. And if we're okay with that, then it's cool. That's why it's like, man, I don't have no judgments or no critiques on nobody. Love the Russell, good brother. You know what I'm saying? Really happy. And ain't no and his sponsorship deals or offers, they ain't going to a man named Pusha T or 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 Earl 40 ounce. They gotta, they gotta go to Russell.
Yeah, right, no doubt. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. Everybody, everybody's trail and journey is gonna be different. And like I said, man, you can only hope for the best. You can only hope for the best situations, no matter who it is. You know.
And shout out to them girls that's rapping and sell them stripper tassels. Man, one love to y'all.
Yeah, we just need some. We just need them to be a little diverse in their in their material. Silly, but
Are
it's
y'all
only but
talking
so
about
many.
Flying the Boss? The
Nah,
two
who's not?
there? Oh, some like stripper tassels. I haven't seen that yet. You gotta send that to me so I can know what you're talking about.
I'm just being silly. I'm just being
Oh
silly. What's
no,
the
because
first
like they just had a
fact?
video with tassels. Um, as I'm just saying, like, but as a sex positive person, I absolutely endorse it. I say, yo, make the money, man. Don't let the money make you, right? Like, when y'all seen the Players Club,
Yes.
you know
Yes.
what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
Yes, Diamond, we have.
$1 bill. Pay nothing.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This has been a great discussion. It is rolling on to 4:30, so I do want us to start our checkout so we can enjoy the rest of our day. But we can absolutely keep having this conversation. Y'all know me. Like I'm not doing anything today except for hunting for food, meaning looking on DoorDash. So with that said, who wants to start the checkouts? Last thoughts, final thoughts, any thoughts on the conversation there or anything? Please
We got
yeah.
Lamont in the house who hasn't
Yes, Blade.
checked in. So why don't we check him in, check him out?
Okay.
Check in, check out, let us know what's happening.
What's good, child? Nothing too much wrong. What I did here, I did enjoy. Um, I've been, I'm curious to listen to that Skills album because I want to see what the criteria was since they've introduced spoken word as a category, and I've been seeing friends pop up and saying that they on the voting committee. So I'm very curious, and I'm gonna do some research that might give me some inspiration with getting back into recording. But as of now, I'm just bearing through the winter and compiling my writings so I can publish it into a book. And working ungodly hours, 12, 24-hour shifts. So I'm a bit fried, but I'm still out here, and I'm glad to be a part of this Zoom call. So as always, peace and love, and I will catch y'all the next go round.
For sure, for sure. Let's go to Emil next. It's late where he's at.
Hey, yo. Yeah, it's after 12. I was about to sign off on my kid phone celebrating that they won their soccer game 14-0. I was like, all right, let me stay on the line. Um, yeah, I'm looking forward to it's funny you're speaking about Le Russell. The property we bought for Hilderhood next door, we actually built a stage in the back of the property in the yard, and getting the kids to come and do a launch of the album and inviting the community to come and chill in the yard, and yeah. So irrespective of what he decided to do, I think he influenced a lot of artists to localize what they do again. But yeah, like Dinik was saying, is like looking at the the possibilities. I think now with what is going wrong um, with the Epstein cases, I think labels and business are probably looking like at ways for clean funding to trickle into a different direction. Because that hasn't been. I can just think of the South African what young artist. What is the name? Tyler. I mean, she is making a hell of a lot of money, like she's touring in the East, after the thing that went down in America. She essentially doesn't need the American audience at all, because there are a million, just India and China is already like what 2 billion people. So, there's a general shift in where people are performing as well. Yeah. So anyway, interesting. But also I was saying to in the chat that hip hop as the culture seem to often have conversations about trying to sway what industry does, which is never going to happen. So maybe it's just time to pull the people from around the world that's actually involved in the culture and host a alternative to this. Yeah, it'll be dope to see that happen, where the entire culture is actually represented and not just rappers. But yeah, that's my 2 cents from Cape Town, South Africa, and I will pass the mic to DeFranco for your checkout.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess the Grammys and part of the industry, on one hand, is always seen so far away from me. But then again, on the other hand, I've been, in the presence of, some of the bigs, and it's like, I don't know, it's a trip. My little brother, rest in peace, he was a street promoter, and he used to promote for a bunch of the big labels in the 90s. And his biggest was Loud Records. And so, I mean, he had dinner with Russell Simmons and, pictures with a lot of big names, and told me a lot of, different stories. And so, again, I don't know, it's kind of torn for me. And I've lived my whole life with hip hop, on the underground. Like, the Grammy that you receive, obviously would name it something else. Comes from the people. Comes from hip hop, and what they get is driven by money. So yeah, the conversation is, I was surprised to hear Lil Russell. I've, like a lot of us have been following him especially being in California. Just loving what I've seen and heard from him, and you know, everybody has to make a decision for themselves and what they feel is best for themselves. I don't feel like, you know, I don't think he would have, you know, gone that route without, you know, really thinking about it and making sure that he was taken care of and that his vision was going to and creative, you know, control was going to be there. So at least I'm hoping. But it is interesting. It is an interesting conversation all the way around. I mean, you know, our gap or the bridge, you know, to the gap from where we come from, where you know where we are, and where that far off land, fantasy land is. You know, we all know it's not cracked up. You know, all it's cracked up to be. Again, I've heard stories from my brother 7 years younger than me, and my other brother 5 years younger. You know, at the Hollywood Mansion party before even the Diddy party was even happening, and so yeah, you know, you've got the devil in each room in one form or fashion, and you know, to the point where you know the spirit in my brother made them leave. Um, you know, so again, having firsthand knowledge of what it really represents, sometimes it's hard for me to even give it time and energy to think about and talk about, but at the same time, you know, it's it's the other side of the spectrum. So, but I appreciate everybody's perspectives in the conversation, and so that'll be my checkout. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Let me take a look on here. I guess I'll pass it to my bro, Mark Wade. You unable to mute, bro?
Not sure. Unmute. There you
Yeah,
go.
there.
You're muted.
So I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, love everything you guys talking about. The new J. Cole album. I heard the intro. I haven't heard all of it yet, but the intro is pretty intriguing. Um, yeah, you guys are talking about some of the Grammy stuff. I really love the shout outs that it was given, the positive platform usage by all those that spoke out against our tyrannous government. And yeah, man, Artemis, D Nick, you guys doing what you're doing in your lanes of the artistry and music shit. Keep up the great work, man, and keep changing the shit. Keep changing the shit. Fight the power, baby. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Black Lion Party, Black Panther Party, but it's about us. And just keep being you guys. Don't change, don't assimilate. Keep being awesome bad motherfuckers, because that's what we are. And yeah, stay resilient and do what you do with zeal. And you will keep being blessed because the great server, you know, already know is the one who will be blessed with gifts abundantly for being of service and not looking for anything in return other than some basic love and respect. So, with that being said, y'all just keep smiling, enjoying life. These days gifted to us because every day of life is a gift from God. That's why I tell you to smile and be happy about life. Smiley day, smiley way. Celebrate your life every day and give God that praise by smiling. So that being said, keep being awesome Hip Hop Congress as individuals and as a collective. Power to the people. Smiley day. Bless up. And have a smiley weekend. And make sure you take time out for the Almighty Father who keeps blessing us to be here. Love you guys. Pass it to you, Nita.
I will wait. Um, yeah, because I gotta close the room anyway, so I'll wait to go last. You want to pass somebody else? No.
Who we got?
Okay.
Who we got?
Let's see.
Okay.
Lisa. Lisa raised her hand.
Well, I raised my hand because I've been waiting to be called up for quite some time. I mean, I've been listening to everybody else.
Go,
And
Lisa. Go,
all
Lisa.
right.
Go, Lisa.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. I mean, I get days where all the work I do makes me feel in the end like I don't have any friends around here anymore because I never see them. And so, you know, I don't get to hang. And I do kind of miss that, the ability to hang. So, but that's just, we're at those crush levels where every single hour seems to be full and people want to talk about getting to that next step, but not everything's in place. We're waiting for everything to line up. And it means just continuing to try to get those next steps going. Government officials who are bugging me to pieces to talk to them at any kind of time when they see the green light come on, which sometimes has me thinking maybe I should not have the phone on while I'm sleeping, but I do, because you never know what's going to happen. And yeah, the work's hard, and it has me feeling like there's not much personal life around here at my home. It's all over there. A lot of people that I'm talking to every day, where I get to know about their lives and how tough it has been, the situations they've been living under. And it has me going on and on about, in my mind, what's happening here in the United States, which is a civil war. It's just no one's stating the obvious because they think it's going to somehow magically go away. And we're seeing this and we know what's going on. And what we're doing is the right thing. Is just how many others are? What changes are going to come? Who is really activated? We've got the people in the streets. That's great. But there are other things that can be done as well. So, if I had that extra time, I'd be seeing about what my local organizations here on the ground are doing. I think we've had like maybe 3 major protests in this city over the last year, where it was tens of thousands of people filling up the streets. I've seen some ICE presence, but we haven't seen them like try to take over the whole town, which is a great thing. But there's part of me that feels like it isn't going to last. As far as the rest coming into pages like this, it's done to feel camaraderie and goodness and stuff like that. I know with some people I'm not very popular because I'm different, and I've had to deal with that all my life. I don't think it's going to disappear. There are those groups out there that want to hear what I say on these programs that I'm working on. That's all well and good, but personal life, well, really not happening at the moment. So I could complain a lot, but with what I see every day, I got no reason to complain. So getting all that together and, working with those people with whom I have something in common, also helps a bit. So, there have been some things going on with the dance associations I belong to. I haven't paid any dues yet because all that money's been going elsewhere on this program to keep it running. But I've been starting to get pinged by people in these different dance organizations that I'm a member of, because they're seeing what I'm posting online. I had one of the officers from AIDA, which is the American International Dancers Association, asked me if they could use a couple images that I had and wanted me to sign some papers. I wasn't able to get into the site for some reason, probably because I haven't paid my dues yet. And the person who wanted that finally said, never mind. And I'm like, so can we talk? And she's like, yes, but I don't have time today. So I don't know what that is, if the words get into them that this is what's happening, if they want to have a piece. Good news, bigger organizations are also wanting to come on board in the DR Congo. And of course, I'm going to be passing this over to Tristan afterwards. We've been getting bigger and bigger groups that are operating in a number of communities over a broad area, which has me thinking, okay, these are government groups that are coming in. You know, ones where they keep those close ties and communications going on. So, yeah, it's getting notice from all these different places, but we still don't have it all together. We're still in that phase where we're trying to pull all of that together and then move to the next phase, which is starting to make presentations about what parts we have got together in order to try to we'll work toward getting UNESCO as a partner. And as far as the very top of UNESCO, I really don't care. There's a lot of corruption there, simply because, well, everybody at the top with UN agencies are all basically political appointees, which means corruption. It's those of us who are working on the ground that are getting the job done that a lot of them try to take credit for. But you hear that in their speeches all the time. And that's the game that's being played. We have to go out there and do the dance with the devil in order to try to make life better for people on the ground who are really getting all that work done. And do I like dancing with the devil? No. Do I like the end result? Yes. The end result is people get helped, and we wind up proving the fact that all these leaders around the world are wrong in their estimations as to what's really going on and what needs to be done, which for most of them seems to be reducing the population. No, that's not it at all. It's their greed and what they've done with their greed and the excuses that they've made for the terrible things that they've done that are perpetuating that greed. And the difficulties that we're having with global warming. No, Mr. Putin, it's not because too many people want fossil fuels. It's because you're wanting to make more money off of fossil fuels. You want to drain all the fossil fuels. And you think that if there's any to be had, that they should be had and used. And all the underground bunkers on the planet aren't going to save you if there's no oxygen. That's where that goes. So, but enough of my rant. The rest is, yeah, it's coming together a piece at a time. And I can't wait for those times where, well, I'm looking forward to Juneteenth this year, because this building here, if it's moving in the direction that we want, we'll be able to have hopefully a couple people actually moving in that are local activists. That's what I'm pushing for. I've already put my wish list out so that we can have offices and live workspaces for those people who are the most active in seeing to it that, you know, we all live together and do it in a healthy manner. So the first job's done here. The building is in the hands of a benefactor for the BIPOCA Alliance. It's being repaired right now. All the 7 violations are getting taken care of. piece by piece. And as tenants start moving out, those spaces are going to be made over into spaces for people who are looking for specifics, looking to get specific things done that are going to help us here on the West Coast, up and down. I could talk for hours about the plans and the connections that have been made. I'm thrilled with some of them. Some of them are with family friends that are actually working their end of this system without my even knowing it. So I guess I wasn't alone growing up on that eye. But I'm waiting for the next shoe to drop. I don't know what shoe that's going to be. So I know, not talking about me. It should be, maybe, kind of, sort of. But instead, I think I'm going to pass this forward. And I'm going to pass it to a guy who just came back after recharging his phone. And that's going to be Tristan. If you could open up your mic, say hello to everybody.
Hello, folks. My name is Tristan. I'm among the interpreters, the multilingual interpreters from UnityNet International. I do interpret French, English, Portuguese, Swahili, and Lingala languages. I've been working with Madam Lisa through interpretation and translation for many years. I'm accompanying her through the process of getting implemented the program that she has just mentioned, that to be implemented in the DR Congo as well as throughout Africa. I think that is what I have to mention right now. Is there an additional information, Madam Lisa?
Well, I mean, as far as how many that we've reached, and you might want to turn your microphone off so we don't get the squelch. But we have reached a lot of people, and a lot more are asking for us to come on in. We've got several groups that want for me to speak on panels to people in their nations and beyond. I've connected with a fellow in the Czech Republic who's introducing me to small business people throughout the Balkan states and even in different parts of India. And it's just amazing how much interest they have in what we do and the ideas they have that are going to solve issues for other communities on other continents. So it is the people that are making this happen. Governments, yeah, they want to have their say, and they're going to try to take stuff away like they always have. But because this is from the ground up, but by the time they realize how tight these collaborative systems become, I mean, because we have them here in the United States, of course, all over the place, 28 different types. But once that comes in and the government's benefiting from the information, that we're the only people who gather it, as that comes forward, when they realize how much power we have through these collaborations, it's going to be too late. And they'll already be getting what they were getting before by not the most, not the best means. We can just put it that way. It's a lot worse than what I'm saying. But I feel very confident at this time that it's going to continue to spread. I'm waiting for those first shoes to drop when it comes to just funding internal operations. And once that happens, I'll go through another series of just being slammed with all the different arrangements that need to be made. But it's pressing. You know, I have to work hard and fight with my conscience to get enough sleep because there's so much that I'm seeing that I can't unsee. And so much I'm doing where I think about it later and I'm like, am I really doing this? My God, I am. But knowing that I'm not alone makes me feel better about it. If I were all alone like I was before, I'd do what I did back then and, kind of poo-poo the effort that I've made or the things that I was part of, saying, there's so much more that needs to be done. And now it looks like I've gotten connected with a lot of different people who have incredible ideas, background, knowledge, experience, that when I talk with them, it's like we all understand each other really, really well. I get surprised. So yeah, architects, scientists, engineers, guys who develop great things. We're talking like we've all gone to school together. It's just amazing. For that, I'm thankful. Because basically, I'm talking to other neurodivergents like myself. People who didn't do well in school in their early years, who were pointed out as being weird, or you don't want to talk to that person, or the one that you shove into a locker or toss headfirst into the local garbage can. I've been through that. Just because you don't act like everybody else and you don't try to mix in. I stopped masking a long time ago because I realized that it put me in a position where it was easier to make me a victim. And no, that's not me. And coming in with the clubhouse, that gets reinforced all the time. That person that I was when I was masking, that's not me. And moving all that forward. So, no, yeah, Tristan, I appreciate you coming in today. I'm sorry we didn't get some of these guys out of Goma coming in. I'm hoping that'll change in the coming weeks because, they got plans. They want to connect. Of course, being artists, they want to do it their way. But if we can just have them starting to come in, then your skills will be put to good use. And I think everybody here is going to like that very much. So I'll toss that back to you. Thanks.
Okay, yeah. We've been on for 3 hours. I'm sorry your phone did die, Tristan. Yeah, we want to check in and check out and get our days moving here too.
Booty Grads change lives, and it starts with a visit to our campus in the heart of downtown Chicago.
Did you want to finish your check-in and check-out, or did Lisa answer all the questions?
Life as a Moody student.
Marquez, can you mute, please?
Am I unmuted?
Thank you. Tristan, were you able to hear me? All right. Let's keep our checkouts moving. Oh, there we go. No, go ahead, Tristan.
Sorry. I thought that you were asking whether we are able to hear you.
No, we do what's called check-in and check-out. I know you've been a couple times. We're on our checkouts right now, so we are about to hang up and end the call. I just want to know if you had any final thoughts before we moved on.
I think that I haven't nothing to mention.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Feel free to put your information in the chat as well so we can keep talking to you offline and greaten our connections. The other part of this is that you have to pass the mic, so you can pick anybody in the audience that you want to pass the mic to.
Yeah, I'm going to put my information in the chat. Yeah, but concerning passing the mic to someone in the chat, no. I don't have someone whom I can pass the chat, the mic.
Okay, I had a hard time hearing that last part. You said you passed to DeFranco? Is that what he said? I'm not sure. With that said, thank you so much, Tristan. And we can pass the mic. Who hasn't checked out yet? D Nick, you want to pick it up?
Yes, blessings to everybody. Really good conversation. A lot to think about. And with that, I am out. Artemis, don't kill me. Like if I miss you at Nerd Cortez.
Oh, you good, bro? We'll connect another way. We good. We good.
For sure. With that, I will pass it to I'll pass it to Darren Devine.
Feel your confusion and depression. For the first time in my life,
Peace and love, prosperity, and that's it. Holla back at y'all. We'll see y'all. We'll see everybody next week.
Pass the mic.
My bad. Pass the mic to Prism.
Peace and blessings, fam. Always a pleasure. Good conversation. Actually, something that from the beginning, Artemis mentioned, starting a clothing brand and everything, something we did, it's always important to rep your brand. You are your brand. I think need to put in the chat is one of the lessons I teach. You are your brand. Your reputation is your brand. It precedes you. How people think about you, how they feel when you speak, how they feel being around you is all part of your brand. And we have to do better at owning that. The people that master that are the people that get those opportunities to feature at these, places of tenure. As far as the Russell, we don't know the specifics of the deal, but I do know another artist in our network that also recently signed a Rock Nation deal. And if I remember correctly, he said it was like a 1-album deal. So he had just released 2 albums in the past couple of years. He's doing great, touring the world, somehow connected with Rock Nation. They picked him up for an album deal that he's working on with him now. So I don't know if it extends to beyond that. But these are the kind of opportunities that, again, putting yourself out there, becoming your brand, representing that, embodying that. Like, we said, wear your brand. And one of the things I teach anybody, any business, why not start a clothing brand? Why not throw your logos on t-shirts and hats and cups and mugs and things like that? It's not hard. chosenhiphopwear.com is a website that I use as an example to my students, how they can go and put their designs and their logos and things up on t-shirts and things of the like. So it's not that difficult nowadays, especially if you can either create the image yourself or get somebody to create the images for yourself. You can get it up there and put it on 10, 15, 20 products overnight, start marketing it, an extra source of funding, but also a great promotional tool. Because when people wear my t-shirts, they're always telling me, somebody stopped me and asked me about the t-shirt, and we had a 2-hour conversation about hip hop and the culture and the difference between the industry and blah blah blah, based on the lessons that we teach that the logos and images are based on. So you are your brand. Hip Hop Congress is a brand. We have to represent that, promote that, share that. Each one of you is doing that in your own way. Again, any way that I can help support, feel free to connect with me. Always a pleasure to build and connect with the international hip hop family. Keep being chosen. Keep doing what you do. See you next week. Who hasn't gone yet? Who's left?
Let's see. Marquez, DeFranco, Ramen, and Artemis. Did you check out?
No.
Okay.
Artemis. Go ahead, Artemis. Take it.
Appreciate you. Thank you. I wanted to say this. I meant to mention this earlier. I want to send a rest in peace and power in paradise to my homeboy, Dulce Capone, who was an artist who I performed with in the DC area. Very, very dope individual who I've known for years. He just had a lot of struggles with his health. And also rest in peace and power in paradise to Mr. Complex of Polyrhythm Addicts. I don't know if y'all saw that, but that was a very, very dope, underrated artist. Worked with Pharoah Monch, DJ Spinner, list goes on. And I just want to send them blessings and, to their family and all that. Definitely a loss for hip hop. And man, like I said, I've been working on the Goldbrick Olympic stuff. I don't know if y'all can see the shirts. Like, this is one of the designs I have for the shirt. one of the shirts. Can't really see it that well, but I'm just like very, very happy about this. This stuff I've been trying to put together for some time, and like some snippets of some stuff to come. So if you're at Nerdcore Days, Anita, I know you'll be there. Hopefully, D Nick will just pop in, pop back out. Who knows? Y'all probably see me some of the gear on. But anyways, always, man, y'all stay blessed. Surviving this political climate and this rough, icy climate. That's a double entendre. And yeah, man, y'all just like stay careful and stay aware, man. I will pass it to who has not checked out. Who has not checked out?
Let's see. We got Ramen and DeFranco. Did you check out? Yeah.
Oh, DeFranco already checked out. Okay.
Yeah. So we're good, I think.
I'll pass it to Ramen.
Aaron, did you check out? Yeah, you did. It was short, sweet, and quick.
Yeah. I'll pass it to Ramen then.
It's Ramen.
Yeah, I did.
That's all we got.
All right, y'all. Well, yeah, this was a very fruitful conversation. Really liked hearing the diversity of thoughts in this current last week. I do want to, remind folks to. I mean, these are great check-ins and whatnot. As we start to share these and put them out there, obviously we're going to be like, we can look at the editing stuff, but just to I'll probably have to do this myself. I'm speaking to myself, but so much happening to organize our thoughts into the pieces that are going to be helpful for folks that will be checking in on our conversations as well, who may not have that context. But I think going back to the fact that at some point, it's going to require, somebody said earlier, where we have to engage the people that are in the positions to make decisions. We got to practice. And again, I'm speaking to myself, being more direct, being more, just direct with our messaging. And that goes into the branding and all of that type of stuff. So that's just kind of where my thought is right now. Huh? 2? Sorry. All right. Family stuff. But I'll leave it at that. Much love, everybody. Let's continue doing this work. And thank y'all for taking the time to check in. Appreciate y'all.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, I'm going to go last because I'm closing out the room. Yes, if you have questions, comments, concerns, we are having our executive meeting tomorrow. If you are in a chapter, near a chapter, maybe not so involved, but are involved with the chapter, if you're an individual member, whatever your case may be, please feel free to reach out with any questions. Like Ramen said earlier, we're going over our chapter handbook, sponsorship decks, and anything else that we happen to forget today, because that is what happens. Feel free, or something we didn't mention, feel free to reach out and ask us about it. If you have an idea you want to see come into fruition, or you need guidance on a particular event that you're trying to host in your area, in your neighborhood, you don't know where or how to get started, reach out to us. We will gladly help you do that. Or if you just want to chat, y'all can ping me. I'm not doing that much today except detangling my hair. So yeah, with that said, I love you guys. Please, please, please check out the Hip Hop Congress Bandcamp, hiphopcongress.com, Hip Hop CU, which is our collaborative effort with the Hip Hop Education Center for our For Us By Us social media platform. And like I said earlier, we do have that opportunity with Wu-Tang Radio. It will be unlimited plays once a week. Click the link that I put in the chat. For that, there is an application process. And what else is there? Oh, and I did add the Hip Hop Congress music collaboration folder to the chat. If you need that separately, just text me or message me, and I'll anything that I put in the chat, just text me or message me, and I'll text it to you if you want it that way as well. But other than that, I love you.
Happy Bob Marley Day.
Happy
Black
it's his
History
birthday.
Month, everybody.
Yes. Yes, happy Black History Month for the rest of my life.
For that part.
For the rest of my life. So,
Power to the people.
power to the smiley day, man. Smiley day. All right, y'all have a good one. Be
I'm
safe.
gonna go celebrate 56 some more.
Yes, yes. Happy birthday. How do we not sing you happy birthday? Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
Pop
birthday.
champagne and everything for the birthday.
Right? Do it all. All right, go live it up real big for 56, and we will talk to y'all next week. Peace.
Blessed up, smiley weekend. Make sure you give God some praise tomorrow because He's gonna raise you again. Love y'all. Smiley day. Bless up.
Peace, peace.